recording anyways. I have to depend on my own notes.
Sorry. I usually try to be good about it. It's kind of a mess, but...
Salt shaker.
We'll wait for that.
You need salt?
I do. What's today's date? The 11th? Oh, dear. I knew that all day.
Did you?
I did.
It was my grandmother's birthday yesterday.
Yeah. It's my birthday Friday.
What are we doing?
I'm taking the day off.
Must be nice, you know.
She's taking us.
I'm going up to Maine next week, I think.
Are you?
Supposedly. I don't know.
To work or?
Yeah, to work.
Cool.
I don't know what day, so I want to go up Thursday, but Julio said my dad's going to go up Saturday, so I don't know.
I get somebody to watch my chickens. I'm going to a festival in New York.
I want to remind people
The joy of owning animals. Now you're home every day.
I know.
work on my retirement home chicken.
Well, as long as you keep them locked up, yours over there, if you let them free range, they're going to get decimated by it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to Bolton tomorrow?
I keep moving that bin for a while.
Oh, Rhonda's not in.
I got a bigger bin than what she had.
For the interview. Or assuming it was Bolton, maybe it's stuff with her for that guy's interview.
No, I wouldn't sit
Oh, I
down
should
and
have brought
on that.
that.
We all had just one community number.
I had to go back in the house to get this.
Oh, yeah. I started too.
So when Nicole gets her, she has to come and go. We should let her say her piece. That time.
Did you all see? I just posted the winners.
I saw
Oh, no,
that
I
nice
didn't.
post.
I didn't see it yet. That's awesome.
Vicky has already, she was one of the adult winners. She has already shared it and been so, woohoo, I got a ribbon. My first ribbon ever.
Good. Let me move this. I didn't mean to bring my water.
Carnival King, how's it going?
I don't think that's what exactly I called it.
Exactly.
You said not to say it too loud.
We're missing Erica, Nicole. Who else?
Yes,
Am I
exactly.
missing anyone? Is that it?
Sometimes.
I'll get a tattoo.
I think Janet wanted to be here.
Okay.
Oh, the discussion we had the other day about why doesn't the Big E have a tattoo exhibit if it's successful? I just noticed that there will be a tattoo artist at the Big E listed on their thing. Yep.
Cool.
So
The whole time or just
they're gonna have a booth for the whole thing.
Huh.
Something tattoo and piercing.
So we're getting matching tattoos up there?
She's being salty today.
We'll save
Salty
it for the
every
Wapping
day.
Fair tattoo.
Have you met
Yeah.
me?
The little pigs and everything.
Get that done at the Big E this year.
You're probably going to bring your kid.
Yeah. No, the girl who did this, when she was doing it, it was like she did the touch up on it, and it was like the week before Labor Day weekend, and she was going out to Pennsylvania to do an outdoor festival tattoo convention. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, you can do that outdoors? Come to the Wapping Fair?
I mean,
Does that make
They don't
sense?
get jammed up. I know the Department of Health has something to do with tattoos. Maybe
Absolutely.
fine because she's already got the permit, and I may be.
No, there
Carrier
would
or
be stuff to get involved in that, but basically, like you got to set up like flooring in your tent booth. You got to be able to close it. All I could think about when she said that was my grandfather getting his Eagle Globe and Acre at a fair before he went to the Marine. I mean, I was World War II, it was a different time.
70 years ago.
Yeah.
These were dirty, and the sailors got them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
I brought the nugget to Ryan's Deli for lunch today.
You know, thanks for the invite. I was right around the corner.
I needed me and my grandson to have time together today. I broke him out of daycare. He was so happy.
Does Mason know about this?
Yeah.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
I don't think he does.
Oh, he does.
Did you drop him back off at daycare? Like nothing happened?
Pick him up in the middle of the day.
Like, oh, how was your day? You know?
No idea.
With the red Ferrari to pick him up from school.
Oh,
End up at a parade.
I'm like taking up so much space right now.
Watch a baseball game.
That could happen.
If you need me to move, let me know.
You're good.
I have your cooler in the back of my car.
No, she just took all the boxes of ribbons that were in my car.
What time do you have to leave?
That can go in the very back of my truck.
What time do you have to leave?
Like 8:20. Okay.
Have you got the bin that the birds were in?
Huh?
The clear one with the blue?
The one I brought home, it's still at my house. I forgot to bring it. So
I trust
they're
you.
not still in that bin. They're in a bigger bin.
Uh-huh. Poor little birds.
Right next to my bed.
I'm trying to clean, so I need my bins, but I don't need them urgent.
Your bin's full of bird poop.
No, I washed it already.
All right. Well, let's get started.
Just trying on my backpack.
Just a reminder, 23 years ago was one of the most tragic days in U.S. history. All those families who were involved, first responders memory. Just want to say, I know when you joined that event, it was about a no-go day, and everybody looked at you like, huh? I think that's because all of us who were involved were like, what do you mean? Like it was going to happen regardless. So, and you were the one walking in. So I very much appreciate the question. And we just all sat there and went, huh? So I think that was the attitude of everybody once we got going was, oh, it's just going to happen. We're not sure 100% how we're doing it, but it's going to happen. And I think it was very successful. I got a lot of comments from business people in town, and I said that's only because I had a good team. They made this job look easy. And in most cases, you made my job easy.
I can't believe this was the team.
Why?
Because it's only, what, 8
You know why it
people?
worked? Because everybody wanted to be here. Nobody was forced to be here. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
but-
Patrick was because, his last
I
name
thought
is
Sylvia
Mitchell,
was.
and they said, you got to keep that pair going. And maybe Sonia, because she said, you want to keep your job as working here, you better get this thing going too. And then, then there's Matt.
No. This is
But everybody wanted this to work.
This is the
and that's
kind
why
of
we
stuff
were
I
all
like
here.
to do.
And that's why it worked. So that's why it was a good team. And in March we had a smaller team. By the time of the fair we had a bigger team, and that all carried through. So while we all were busy last weekend,
A little bit.
and other than one recent circumstance, I think all the comments have been very positive.
Extremely positive.
And all the people who, when we asked for sponsorships or to help out, who said, let's see how you do. Well, now we get to call them out on it, to be honest with them. So, that being said, who wants to go first?
Well, I want to know, how did we do? How was our attendance? How did it compare?
The gate attendance officially, including all tickets, comps, full price, seniors, 6,142. I know I let about 10 people sneak to the back gate from Peter Bugs. I'm sure some people came around and didn't go on rides and somehow got in, because that happens every year. But I would like to think that's probably maybe at most 100 to 200 people. That's my opinion, but somebody may have a different opinion.
And what was our wish going into this?
5,000.
5?
To have a fair.
Yeah, baby buddy.
I think we said if we had 5,000 full paying customers, that would get us about 50 grand. Now remember that 6,000 isn't full paying customers.
Right.
And that was kids and parents comp to come in for music, the exhibitors, for whatever reason.
That's great. It was hard to gauge up in the corner where I was because all I could see was the ones where the
You're
kids
right by
were.
the gate, but
I know, but I couldn't see.
honestly, anywhere in the fairgrounds, it never looked. Maybe over in the rides, I never got over there. But where I was, it never looked extremely busy. But when you started getting the numbers at the end of the night, you're like, how? How did that many people
Well, don't forget,
come?
there's a turnover. People come in and leave.
Yeah.
I mean, And there was a lot of people that just left because they didn't want to pay the $20.
Were there a lot? I only had 4 people come to my 4 groups of people that came to my window.
I had one person complain on the way out, but I think she was just looking for.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm taking up like so much space right now, so you're fine.
Oh my God, Janet.
I'm surprised you're here. Don't you have
I just say Fort Town Fair this weekend? Yeah.
I said when I left.
Why not?
Sure, why not?
And this is my program. Because I knew if I called her, it was, I got it. I don't need to call her ever again. I
does
didn't want
have
to
it.
ignore her too much, but
But you don't want to bug her
don't
because
want to
she's a
pester
busy
her
woman.
either.
Almost done. Fort Town next weekend. Then Biggie, then we're done.
Almost done.
Almost done. Getting there. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to come
Okay,
in
so
and
why don't we
interrupt
just
everything.
kind of round table it?
You want to
Like-
go by topic?
Huh?
You want to go by topic, or you want to go
By topic or
individual?
by? I thought we were doing like strengths and weaknesses and what are we doing? Never mind.
Well, she put that out, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Then go by topic. You got this.
All right. So I had infrastructure. So tents are good.
Yes, awesome.
Talked to both tent people. They're on board for next year. You want 2 40 by 80s or do you want 1 40 by 120?
So I have a verbal commitment that there'll be more cows.
Okay. So-
Don't hold your breath until next year's fair.
Cow chip bingo.
When we were talking with the tent guy, he said he can go as big as 40 by 120.
So
And it would actually be, and it would be cheaper than if we had 2 40 by 80s. Would a bigger one thing be better, or?
So goats and potential sheep would fill up
If you had fries, I'd
80
have taken one
feet of
fry.
it, which leaves 40 feet for cows and rabbits and chickens.
Do you ever do the shows out in
we don't
under a
need to know.
tent?
We don't need to know like tonight.
But if we could, he did say the sooner that we can lock it in, the sooner he can
Right.
secure the
That's
parts.
probably
because
October.
those big tents, they come in 40 by 20 sections.
Right.
And they like sew them together or whatever on the site.
Yeah, they lace them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lace them, whatever you want to call it. So he could push that
Yes.
out to 40 by 120. So if you could, over the next month maybe, think about it. He just said the sooner the better because the bigger
Yeah,
ones
yeah, that makes
get locked
But
up
I'll have to go-
faster.
I'll have to go there early.
September, October is a busy time.
I think when that wind came through, it validated
Okay.
having tents and not letting people put in their own
I'll call
pop-ups.
you
and
when
Oh,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
agreed.
That wind coming through was just like
How that?
Yeah, without
kind
a
of
doubt,
proved
I
the
would
point.
set it up the same way
I like
or
how
more condensed.
I like how we did the vendors, the 20 by. You can make it 20 by whatever, but you left an aisleway on one side and the vendors on the other. Where we had them facing each other, you had the big open area down the middle. I thought that worked out good. I'd like to see that again. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can add more too.
Yeah.
I mean, like we can really add probably like another 4 of those, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get some feedback directly from vendors when I was going. Tell me if I'm not talking loud enough.
No, you're good.
When I was going around asking them to fill out the form with the QR code, a couple of them asked for, they liked the tents, but they said it was dark, so customers weren't coming in as much, so they'd like lighting, if possible.
For better lighting, because well, there is lighting in those.
Yeah.
So, but it's not.
Some of them they did half lighting and then it was
Oh, okay.
a little sketchy.
Yeah. So they asked for lighting, and then, how are you, Deshaun? Or Tashawn, sorry. So, and then another one, 2 of them also said that they liked the way that the actual setup was around them, but that they felt as though the attendees could have been forced their way a little bit more, because a lot of them were coming in and then just hooking and going straight to the rides. So if we could figure out a way to maybe force the attendees to kind of walk through, that might work out a little bit better for them.
I remember something, an event that happened years ago, is if we had, to that point, because you're always going to get somebody that wants to go somewhere else. Hey, what's up, bro? that you're, and we have this problem, is if we had something where with the ticket or the wristband or something where there could be a prize for how many vendors you go to see.
That's smart.
Because we had that situation where people weren't, and then the vendors were pissed off, like nobody came to see, especially in the back, nobody came to see me.
Yeah.
But when we had a prize saying how many vendors you see, and every vendor hole punch theirs, and there was a special hole punch that we bought, so nobody could, get stupid with it.
Yeah.
And that might help as well, because then people will go, and then at the end we can announce it from the stage, you just won a car.
Well, another
Something that makes people.
Well, another organizer that I've worked with in the past, they have it set up so where if you buy anything that you buy from vendors, you get a raffle ticket. And you can basically take that raffle ticket up to the hospitality booth, and then they have all the vendors kind of just donate one small thing, and then they just create pre-make a list of like so many numbers that they consider the winning numbers, and then as people come and check up their tickets to see if they want anything, and they just get to pick what they want. So we could do something like that. We could just encourage the vendors to just donate one item, give like a little gift basket that we can just put as a raffle, just to kind of encourage people to shop, because they have to shop in order to be able to get that raffle ticket.
So the entranceway to the fair, when it was at this location in past years, it used to be right in the middle of the carnival versus the vendors. And so they were specifically straight in front of the entranceway for that purposes. I mean, how much you can force people into it. I mean,
Right.
I know years ago, literally they had a tent, basically like the livestock was in. All the vendors were in there, and literally the main gate, you couldn't get onto the fairgrounds without walking through that vendor space.
That's not a bad idea.
Personally, I hated it, but as far as from a vendor's point of view, you had to walk past them.
I mean, plus if we have, depending on the vendors we're able to get, we can really advertise the vendors too, and kind of really showcase what these people are bringing and what they're also going to be selling. So we have the time to do that. We'll have the time to do that this year.
I think we should be really specific about a cutoff for the vendors.
Agreed.
Now we've shown that we've been successful, because we were adding vendors as we were setting up tents this year. So.
We had that one guy come in with this big nesting tent that caused kind of a stir with the vendors, but talking to Sonia, he paid the same price they did, and he brought his own tent.
He paid more.
And he had to go buy another tent because the first one wasn't good.
He paid more.
I agree with that. I think we should be able to have all the vendors and everything finalized by the end of July at the latest.
Which will make it easier for setup.
And that can happen this year.
Yeah.
That can definitely happen this year, and you can kind of leave out, not have like have Power Home Remodeling, Windows by Anderson, Windows by Window Nation, and I was just taking vendors because
the commercial vendors,
we did what we had to do.
We can limit commercial vendors, and we can really, the more vendors we have, the more we can really spread them out anyway.
Right.
So,
And it really is okay to have all of them, because some people actually do their price comparing, and and it makes it really easy for them because they're all right there.
If we have more vendors and able
And
to
you could
spread
spread
them
them
out
out.
more,
Yeah.
but when I have like one across from the other one, I'm shit.
That happens. Burger King is across from McDonald's. Keep it moving.
we'll be able to.
Competition, right?
Exactly.
Remove the
It does.
It'll be much easier this year because we have more time.
And trust me, they know too. If we have two window vendors across from each other, and the one dude is sitting down all day, and then they go do their feedback, and oh my gosh, you got so much business. Trust me, they talk to their competition. As a sales guy, you talk to your competition. Say,
Okay, so let's get back to infrastructure.
But for tents, I do think we're going to have exhibits at least double, if not triple, what it was. So we will need a bigger tent there. Or at very least not have that be the storage tent.
You'll have space to move that.
You can stretch out behind, like further back in that tent, and we can figure out a different mother comfort area, even behind,
Okay.
And
Yeah,
signage too for those tents.
And I totally support what she's saying about it not being a storage tent. Having walked back and forth numerous times. I kept saying, I wish I had the time to like straighten up all that stuff that was left there. And that's one of the first things people are seeing when they're coming in, and it just did not look good with all of that there. So we really need, and we need Dawn to have room to spread out.
What to do with all those strange items? They should have been hanging around fencing. But another year.
Is signage part of infrastructure?
It can be.
Signage, big
More signs.
foam boards, or what's that called? Corrugated boards that say, yeah, what's there?
Or even the banners that we hang up just above them. You know, if we invest in, I mean,
Mother
all
comfort
you need
area.
is say livestock and you can use it
Exhibits.
forever.
Yeah, like just like
have
those
some-
directional
Yeah, we have quite a
signs.
few
Schedule
that
events
say
for
like
the
sheep and goats
Yeah,
and
that's-
cattle and show ring and
Those are
Those,
some
those
of the
baby
little
chicks.
signs, but like
We're
the big
around
banner
me.
over
Oh,
the
I got it.
tent.
You'll be able to
You
set
ready
up
for
a
a
map
huge
and everything
expense?
too.
Talking with Valerie and Alexa and Trey, because it got brought in on the conversation when they're both there, and then again with Trey after the fair. Our electrical panels, 4 of them have a master breaker. Valerie wants them all to have a master breaker. Now whether she's going to be, she doesn't have to. We were supposed to have them all this year. It was an absolute, but she kind of, for us, and I appreciated it. She said over the years that they have been doing the upgrades in steps rather than forcing it all at once. But we didn't do any this year, so I'm inclined to think that she's going to make us do quite a few of them, if not all. The other thing is, Trey was saying, our main cable that supplies the fair is a 3 stands. It's 2 power and a neutral. The neutral supports the cable, and Valerie says the neutral next year cannot support the cable. It's got to be its only support function. So it's going to end up being a 4-strand cable. And I said, Trey, how much is that? He goes, it ain't cheap. So something coming. We will meet with Valerie hopefully this fall, and we'll go over a list of what we absolutely have to do so we can get a cost on it.
So a rough cost on that we're looking at, I was working with him today. He's talking it's going to be for the cableage to go around the place. You're looking at about 20 grand. And then the panels are roughly $1,000 a piece. We need about 10 of them.
30,000.
I will say that was awesome. Any fair like that you go to, they don't usually have all the electricity. They force the vendors to bring their own generators, and we could charge. I'm sure we probably did charge for that because they're used to not. They're used to having their own generator, and to have the electricity go to the whole place, dude. That was amazing. I was very surprised. I was like, oh shit. Every spot had its own tour. Right. Well, no, I think that's awesome. I've already, because I got the Apple Fest coming up next for the obvious reason, and they're just doing generators, and I've already heard people that were at ours saying, I don't have a generator. I'm a small business. I can't afford a generator yet. And I'm like, dang it. We really spoiled.
And an electrician.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think it was very much worth the money.
Yeah, it's worth the expense.
The thing with the pianos, when I asked Trey, I go, so can we add a master breaker to those boxes? And he said, you can't. You got to buy a whole new piano. There's no way to add it because the master breaker cannot be removable. So if we can put it in, that means it's removable and it doesn't meet the code. And you can say, well, I said, can we get away with existing? I knew the answer because we're temporary. Every year is new electrician, new service, even though we own everything and have it. It's just not set up. So every year it's new. It's not existing.
So that $1,000 includes the panel and the cable that goes up to the main line.
So my husband works for Eversource, and one of the things he was kind of concerned but more surprised about is that when you had your upright where your wire carried, there was only this way bracing.
Yeah.
And he's really surprised because even if a golf cart caught one side of that, there's no So there's horizontal bracing, but not vertical bracing. And he said it doesn't really have to be, but he was surprised that they didn't make them do at least one additional leg.
Yeah,
for
That's the
vertical.
way they've always kind of done it, though.
Would Eversource
Well, I know
be
Tim
willing
did
to
when
donate us?
he was doing it before.
Oh, really?
And I do know that there's,
know where I'm
there's a
going.
move
I like how
going
you
with
do
that. So
Would Eversource be willing to donate us panels and maybe some wire?
probably not. But you'd want to contact HR in Berlin for that.
Because we might be able to get them to do that as like their quote unquote sponsorship.
Can we put a solar field over the top of the Beatles?
There is a fairgrounds out on the Cape, and their whole fairgrounds is powered by solar paneling. The solar panel, they can't do it in Connecticut, it's illegal.
Southwood is
But
really ready for that either.
they're all up high, and all their parking is under the solar paneling. And their entire fair runs during their fair, it's a 14-day fair, it runs entirely on the solar paneling. And then the rest of the year, they're earning money on that solar panel. It's amazing.
Your mouth
But
to
not in
Southwood
Connecticut.
All right, we're getting rid of the bugs.
Oh, and just FYI, I got home Saturday night talking about bugs, or Sunday night, went to unpack my clothing bag, and I had a spider in my bag. No. I'm not usually afraid of spiders. This was a big brown spider.
Was it like a wolf spider or was it?
It was
must
a
have been
wolf
web
spider.
Was it outdoors or was it in your
I
camper?
had it overnight on my
Other sign
milking
said we need
stand,
to exit signs
but
so
then all I
we know
could
where
think
to
of
leave.
is I slept in a cot.
surprised
No. She said bugs, and that's all I could think of.
That's for like exiting
Trauma
the fairgrounds, but the entire premises. But like, if you have an emergency and you have to get out of, the vendor area, and that's if they're like, and we didn't really have. We were using the entrance as an exit for people to leave, which we probably should do something better for that.
Speaking of infrastructure for that, we need to have some kind of light out there. I mean, even when we were leaving that at night, it's really difficult to see the entrance and exit. Like, it's incredibly difficult. So adding lights up.
More light towers.
Yeah, we need at the very least we need one of those lights, those tower generator lights, up right at the
All
entrance.
right, call Uncle Billy.
So we got everything
Especially
we
for
had.
those who aren't familiar with the fairground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those that are standing there.
We had every available light tower that he had.
Oh, did we have them all?
But we can still get all the Able Tool in town, Superior.
Able
so,
Tool was actually a sponsor this year, so
So we can.
Tech Nation was supposed to bring 2 more down on Friday, but he never brought.
I think he needs
Okay.
reminders.
Other than if one thing for next year, the Park and Recs guy came over and wanted to know where we wanted the Rotary Pavilion put in. That's going in October. I said, "What's the master plan for the fairgrounds?" So he goes, "Master plan for the fairgrounds? Nobody has one of those." So when electrical comes in next spring and the water comes in next spring, it didn't come in this fall. Nobody knows where that's going either, and I'm like. So they're basically going to put it where one of the 2 Park and Rec tents were, the one closest to the amusement rides.
A pavilion?
Yeah, next
Like-
40 by 80 open air pavilion.
Like the
Oh.
one over at Nevers?
No.
A little
They're
different.
talking about basically like an open barn style, 40 by 80 on a concrete
Oh, that
pad
would be
level
nice.
with the ground.
Okay.
So there's no
But
mas-
that's not talking about electrical or
Yeah.
water.
so
or
there's-
bathrooms.
There's the town has no master plan where they're putting anything. Nobody has sat down and sketched in, and then I get it when things come. Sometimes you got to erase it and move it over a little bit, and that's understandable. But there's somebody's just gonna puke on the grounds, and that's what's gonna do.
But that would be nice.
When is that scheduled to start being installed?
October, the Rotary Pavilion's going. I told that to Nancy.
So I do have some plans and some things on that we're working through with the lodge. So I want to try to link up with them before they get that put in and over. So a lot of that stuff's starting here. I've been selling it to the Masonic Lodge, a $200,000 donation for a building for about the past 6 months.
But the Rotary's already putting one in.
They're putting in a covered, an open-sided barn that doesn't give us electrical, it doesn't give us water, it doesn't give us
But they have
bathrooms.
a grant for next year that's
Yes.
supposed to get the electrical.
Where's the electrical going? Is it just coming onto the property?
Yeah.
Are they
Where
actually
is it
putting
going
poles up?
to?
Is it going underground?
If they don't start
I mean,
working
there's no
on,
plan.
an overall plan, then things just get thrown in randomly. It does us almost a disservice because we have to base it off of the objects in our way.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be able to plan around it and kind of, because we're going to want it set up how we're going to want it, like, I would think by, like,
That's
within the
why
next
they were
couple of
asking
months.
So I've been
I would
working on
say-
the
I
lodge,
would
getting
say
in
right where
the concept and the mindset
good-
of spending this money
That's a good
for the
spot.
past 6 months.
And if they come in
now
with the
things are
electrical
coming
and water
fruition,
from the
and
backside
we open back up next week
instead of the front.
and start moving.
So, just to close this out, Black recommended 2 tankers for water. We refilled it once. We put one right at livestock and one over by the vendors and the amusements because we need it there.
Yep.
And both of them are potable water because it needs some cool water for the livestock. I went, no, absolutely not. He goes, oh. I go, yeah, no. The tent guys were all set. Electrician. Obviously, we had the rides. The fire extinguisher guy said he was good. Portable radios said they were good. If anybody finds an extra headset for the portable radios, we're missing one. It kind of worked out kind of a deal, but if we could return it to them, it would be great. But they're not upset about it. Basically.
Janet was saying that we need to price shop for potable water because
Yeah, the company in Manchester, I believe it's
Clearwater?
Clean Water Solutions, but they're also with another company. When I was calling around in a panic, literally, they did quote me a one-time charge and no charge per day for the tanker of $500.
oh,
That's all right.
Oh, I thought they were $750 for the Gavlock one.
Might have been.
So, I mean, it's
It
worth
doesn't hurt
kind
to
of
shop
checking
around.
to see.
We have time to this
And
year.
they're certainly close enough. They're right on Bidwell Street in Manchester.
And don't worry about upsetting Black because he told me, yes, I got notice the Wapping tour was canceled, and then you called me 2 days later. And I went, so he wouldn't be disappointed if.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth checking out. I mean, the guy I talked to was super nice.
maybe we can get a coupon, buy one, get one free.
Never know if you don't ask, right?
That's right.
David, before you go past the electrical stuff, coming in on the fire road, when you come in from Troy and you come in the fire road and you take that left, there was the generator, and then next to it there was a tent, and then across the road there was a tower.
Yeah.
It was a little tight with trailers because, like, literally you're making that turn and you're trying to straighten out, and I mean, I'm a damn good driver, not to brag, but but there was somebody else that's not, and she really struggled coming in there. So my trailer's also easier to maneuver than hers, so it was a little tight.
No, Paul Burnham was all over me about the generator location, like all 4 days. That's not the right spot. That's not the right spot. Why'd you put it there?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't care if it's there, it's just then the
pole.
wire went across
Yeah.
and the pole sat there, and then somebody parked the trailer with all the tables and chairs there as well, and so that added an additional obstacle. We were joking around that we were going to have an obstacle course driving contest with our trucks and trailers.
Yeah, four-wheeling. You get your demolition derby.
I know. All right, so you get out of the truck.
Don't park that there. You know I'd move it for you.
I know. It's fine.
Maybe not for Sonya, but I'd move it for you.
Hey, that was handy when they were bringing the tables over to Backhand.
Yeah. We could have put that something. That's right. We could have put that something. I thought they needed more tables near there, and we were going to unload.
We did fine, but
Oh, yeah,
Noted for next year.
That was one of the other things Brian and I were talking about. That whole bond issue. They say they take some of the money to do improvements. I Dave Perkins there telling me he's got a reseed for the athletic fields. And I'm looking down and I work for a guy who used to put in lawns and help him put in lawns and stuff. I'm looking down and I got crabgrass, other broadleaf grass, fescue, clover. I got trash grass. It's good for recreational athletics.
There's a
that go
mix
on
of
there.
Zoya grass in there too, which is a really tough grass. So
But it's nothing special, and the root system is still intact. If it rains and you give it 2 weeks, it grows. If you go and reseed it, it's the same amount of. In the whole field, we found one spot where there was decent grass, and that's on the far side where we turned it up a little bit with one of the trucks.
Well, did you guys look at where the donuts were after
Yeah.
we cleared everything out?
We raked those out.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it was chunks of grass that got like thrown, so I pulled it back
Well,
over.
the other
So-
point
so
with
they-
that is the rotary going in there and putting in their pavilion.
A lot of
That's going to get
oh
torn
yeah,
up.
I know when we put in our gazebo in our backyard,
the
it
whole
made
edge
a
that they want us
mess
to
of
use
our
as the fire
backyard.
road is very soft, and that gets chewed up.
Yeah.
So when they did their improvements,
They didn't improve anything.
that would have been a great thing to do, is build that up. So when, I'll tell you what, if I had a fire truck going through there and I had a new guy, the way it was, whoever drove through there the last time we dug it up, if he had stopped and tried to get going with a full tank of water, they went, and then,
I don't think we should worry about that right now.
Well, the same thing on that fire road, that corner after you leave the livestock area and before you make that turn by the corner by the woods, it's very wet there. And I know that when you're pulling a trailer that's several thousand pounds, you're going to dig it up, and you're not doing it.
This is good feedback. So when I have my town council meetings, that way I can say, hey, this is stuff, because this is the real stuff. Like at certain levels, they don't really experience it, whether it's life or whatever. They don't. But this is the real stuff. So I'll take these notes and be like, hey.
Here would be my third point. It's called a fairgrounds. It's called John J. Mitchell Fairgrounds. A fairground should have a parking lot. They're going to charge us to reseed a parking lot.
I believe you. So brought that up in our meeting.
It's a fairgrounds. It's not an athletic field. This is not what it's named.
You get no argument.
I'm just saying.
I went to Goshen Fair and performed. Everybody parks everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to my share performances, and so I think this is one of those areas where South Windsor's a little bit more bougie than anything. So I couldn't agree with you.
I understand bougie at Nevers Park.
But this is all speculation at this point. So
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry too much about it.
Tonight we don't, just bring it up as a topic, and maybe Tom will work with us a little bit more seriously. Okay.
Doesn't say it's
Does
not
anybody
me.
else have any other problems with infrastructure, or have any infrastructure needs?
We definitely could use a second string of lights in that goat tent. We made do, but when people were coming through, it was dark on the one side.
what was it? Just lights on?
It was just on the side where the wall was,
Okay.
but the whole front where the public actually are coming in was a little
Would a
darker.
different light bulb be?
We're gonna have to figure out something
it's
over
just a big
towards
area.
the center area there. There wasn't really something to attach it to, but maybe we can create something to.
But if she ends up
put on
getting that
center.
bigger tent, you're going to have to rethink that again.
But that's what I'm saying. If it was
Yeah.
down the center, it would be halfway across.
It would be nice to have another
And some of those bulbs are older bulbs.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If you get
another
like
wall or
a
two for the chicks.
The daylight.
Because it got really cold Friday night.
We're supposed to have sidewalls for all sides of all tents.
Oh yeah, I had a bunch of attendees huddling in the check-in tent. They all ran up there, and we got like a half wall that was brought up because it's all that was left, and it didn't help anybody. So we need that.
Yeah, so we,
Brian's mother was huddling at the chick hot lamp.
Said my mom was huddling with the chicks.
At the hot lamp with the chicks.
Yeah, but it wasn't that warm. It wasn't that hot.
anything else on infrastructure? Okay.
I think we need more room around the chicks. We need to revisit where we're going to put them, and just that flow in there, and how it's
That was such a huge hit.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was almost nonstop, and there were times there were 3 people deep around it. We cannot do that without at least 2 volunteers each time. And we're going to have to vet the volunteers.
Huh?
We're going to have to vet the volunteers.
Yes, we do.
Because we had some that were fantastic, and we had some that...
It's really hard to vet a bunch of high school kids. I thought
I mean, I think
that the baby chicks were going to be covered, so I didn't even think about them for the longest time. You can't vet a bunch of high schoolers. You as a person can say, okay, because I had them kind of switching out.
Yep.
You can say, okay, it's time for you to switch, and that would give me a clue that it's time for them to switch. But you can't.
But I would need a walkie-talkie. A couple of the days I didn't have
We are
one.
going to get more walkie-talkies.
So how many should we get 15 instead of 10?
Yeah.
Get 20.
Yeah, I mean,
Get 20.
We had one that was
I
so
mean,
good.
realistically, every board member should have one. I mean, Janet should probably have one too. I mean, we need to make sure we have them for the police, the electrician. Like, I think it would be more beneficial to have too many than not enough.
Yeah.
So on that topic, how many volunteers do we actually end up getting?
Volunteers.
Non-board members.
Volunteers or shifts covered.
Volunteers.
Okay. So I got 40. I got to go by shifts covered because some of them came back a different day. I got 40 plus from the interactive club at the high school. I got 20 plus shift covered by the varsity cheerleaders. We had about 12 shifts covered. Well, 12 shifts covered from the police explorers, and the bonus to that was an extra police officer on duty. We had the Boy Scouts. I think I had about 10 of them come through it.
And then 2 parents.
And 2 parents. And then your club members, which probably about 10 of those. Huh?
Which club member?
Your Masonic club.
Okay. Yeah, they're about
There was about 10 of those.
An
We had
advantage.
about 94.
My goal was 177 shifts covered, so
I mean, realistically, we have way more time this year. I already know that East Hartford has already said that they would be on board. So, I mean, high school, I think we need to reach out to the Suffield Ag program too, because I think there's a lot more opportunity. We have more time this year. I think it'll be beneficial. And we were talking about this too, I think we want to try and aim to have more volunteers, because it would be nice for at least all of us to at least have, like, whether it be half a day or a full day, that we can actually enjoy the fair. Because I didn't even get over to the livestock tent at all. I wasn't even able to go over and check out.
absolutely. I didn't know that there were amusement rides there.
Bumper
I
cars.
rode in.
You missed the bumper cars.
There was, I know, somebody showed me pictures on the bumper cars, and I'm like, what do you mean we have bumper cars? How come I'm not on those?
I know.
So
They wouldn't let me have a
ticket booths,
demolition derby. I want bumper cars.
should we not have used those ticket booths?
No.
No.
No, those
So feedback on that, and anybody chime in with yours too. I think the ticket booths were too enclosed. It made hard for customer communication back and forth.
Yeah.
At one point, some of us were having to stand outside just to help direct because they didn't know where to go.
And they couldn't hear you. You couldn't hear
You
them.
couldn't hear them.
If we'd used that
and then we
main one-
need signage that prompts people that are 20 feet back what to expect before they get your $20
signage
out,
for-
cash here, card here, so people can do that way in the back, and by the time they get to you,
The signage for the ticket
they're
booth.
ready.
Well, and not just that. If
The other
we-
difference will be one board member in the money area versus having
one in each booth.
one in each
because
booth. Now
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because it lended to, at least even when we were together, and then even when I said with you, I think it's more of the signage. That's the issue more than the booths. The booths were awesome. If you have an open space, then everybody's just running for
You
open
got crowds.
space.
You
But
got
if you have,
Well, we'll
this
have
is
to
a
set
booth,
up
one
designated
is credit,
ones.
this is cash. One is credit, this is cash. And what we didn't do is we didn't, we thought about it, we talked about it, is straight lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
use those black
If we would have
fence
straight
things
lines,
instead of
That's
using
what those
the
are for.
block.
So we
even if
need
you would have straight been cash, credit, people would know where to come. So I don't think it was the booths as much as I agree with you. I think it was the signage.
Yeah.
That and it was a last minute thing.
I
so.
think if we could get the plexiglass more open somehow, so that communication, because even like we have to consider all of our guests, right? And some of them were elderly, and even if they have the signage, by the time they got up to you, they're already frustrated from standing in line, and now they can't hear you, so it just makes for a bad experience.
I kind of think the booths.
Well, that was the
you had to do like this to get them. Yeah, not to signage, and then more open air to be able to communicate.
So it wasn't the booths. I think the booths.
I think the booths are more secure.
Every once in a while, I like to hear it, so
I would agree with that. I think we should probably have a police officer up by the front gate.
But so that could be resolved with a sheet of plexiglass in front of the thing to create some order.
There is plexiglass.
If we weren't using the booths.
They got the little.
Well, those ticket booths, especially the one that we were sitting in on the end, was completely full of mold.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I couldn't, like I was completely swollen. Like my sinuses were super congested. It was just like had I known, I literally would have just brought bleach with me and I would have scrubbed the shit out of it.
Well, that is honestly not something that we need to decide tonight.
Thank God I wore deodorant then.
It's something, huh? Yeah.
And then I would say
I had
once,
a bottle of bleach over in my tent.
If I had known, I would have grabbed it.
I would say once, because I spent majority of my time in the wristband area. I would say that there are improvements that could be made up there. I think the amount of people that were working worked really well. The manpower was good. You need to have very assertive people that are comfortable talking to the public and both getting negative feedback and positive feedback, which some of the kids, they were great. And then there were others that wanted nothing to do with it, but they were there, right? Yeah. So when people came in, I found that there was puddling in front of the tent. There was pooling, and then there was bottlenecking because they couldn't go anywhere because we were so close to where the tickets were coming in. So they were they were purchasing their tickets and then getting stuck, and it was causing a little congestion. So we need to have a little bit of space, something that funnels people over.
Maybe we
and then
should have gone to the back of the tent.
I think the other side of the tent would have been better served as that.
But then you have to
and then
walk up.
once they get in, there needs to be somebody directing people, stopping them and saying, you please go there.
Almost like parking.
You please go there.
Yeah.
So that you can study how many people are going and keep the families separate. What happened is when the kids were getting hit, they would get a group of 10 plus another group of 5.
Right.
And then they weren't able to get the bands on quick enough and they were getting overwhelmed. People were going through without their bands and just small little things that were being missed just because they were getting overwhelmed. So if we could set up like a station and then somebody directing and have 2 people at each, one banding, one stamping, I think it would work better.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Do we really need the stamps?
I don't think we
Or
need
do we
the
just need a stamp for re-entry?
We just need
The stamps were for like the seniors that weren't getting the rides.
It did show that they paid.
Like that's
if we don't, I think the stamps serve for what they did, right? The kids we started stamping even the kids. If they walked, I told the volunteers stamp them because we were getting parents coming back in saying, oh, I bought a ticket, but I didn't get their band once they realized that their kid could ride 3 rides.
Yeah.
So we nixed not stamping, even the young kiddos. If they could walk, they got a stamp saying they passed by us and we spoke to those parents. So the stamp served well for that, and the stamp did serve well also for the elderly guests that were coming in. I don't think we need to stamp every single person though. If they have a band, it kind of shows that they make contact with us.
Were the stamps for the re-entry?
It was to serve for re-entry.
So maybe that's what we do it then. We do it as a re-entry. So as people are leaving, saying if you're re-entry, we just get a sign.
What she's saying on the way in, if the kids could have ridden the rides and they come back and their kid wasn't stamped.
Well, if they wouldn't have paid for the ticket.
But it would be a wristband.
They wouldn't have paid for a ticket.
I think we're going to have to change that
So
next year anyways, I think. Change it more for height than for age anyways, but I mean, I think a wristband would likely be sufficient because realistically, if a family of parents have wristbands and then they have a little kid that has or doesn't have a wristband, clearly they're likely all together, but that child is just not tall enough for rides regardless.
They didn't pay for a wristband.
I think we just need to revisit. We need to put that on the list to revisit, to think of how we can make that go a little bit smoother. And we wouldn't have even known that. The first day on Friday, I didn't even think to stamp those little kids.
Maybe we need to put an exit.
Yeah, we need
and then an exit that's
So
separate.
an
Yeah,
entrance
that's
and a
clearly
separate
marked.
exit. So when people are going out, you need your hand stamp. Not somebody walks
Yes.
in, you didn't catch somebody going backwards
Yeah.
because you were busy putting on risk.
Yeah, but every guest that comes through that can walk needs something identifying that they've passed through.
Yeah.
Just something that might work on the volunteer people. And you said some are good and some are bad. I had one in Chicks that was absolutely fantastic. And I watched her for 4 hours. I got a sense as to where she showed initiative and this, that, and the other. I hadn't thought to bring business cards. I found one stuck under my phone case. I gave it to her and said, you're going to need references for work and for school. She was 3 years from graduating. Said, feel free to write me and I will be happy to provide a reference for you. So it's not something we have to do or we have to tout, but it might be something to think about just to have in our back pocket, because some of these kids are really phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that is going to have to be us just paying, whoever's responsible for said volunteer, just paying attention. If that volunteer is not really doing well in that particular task, letting somebody know and then swapping out for something else. Like, I mean, realistically, like, we can shift them around.
We are not able to interview the volunteers and see what kind of skill set they have. They signed up, like the interactive club, I had signing up for gate and hospitality. I had the cheerleaders signing up for bouncing. And I told both that we might interchange and we might reassign them. I wouldn't have anybody out in the parking lot because they're all, sophomores and whatnot. But you can't interview every kid and decide, oh no, you're not going to work out here. The only thing that we can do is like, hey Sonia, I've got this volunteer that we kind of need to switch. Okay, let's switch. You guys want to go up to the hospital? And it just sounds like a break.
Yeah.
Why don't we switch out? Why don't we get 2 new ones over here, 2 new ones over here, whatever. We can switch them out without making them feel like they're not doing their job. And that just, I think it's up to us. It's not up to the volunteers to be, they're not going to be comfortable in every setting.
But I hadn't even thought if somebody did a really fantastic job, is there a way that I could help them?
I think another thing we could consider and just put on the list is maybe we mix the groups, right? Because God bless those teens. All they wanted to do was the boys wanted to go find the girls and the girls were trying to find the boys. And I had a gaggle of 15 of them up in that tent and I'm having to be the mean mom and put my voice on and break them up. They kept finding their ways back. They would make excuses and find their ways back. So if we put like the cheerleaders who don't know the Interact kids together and they're kind of forced to make those bonds, it might help us because they're not already seeking out,
I think they would probably seek each other out more.
I know, but we have to think of a way to try and mitigate the problem.
I think that's just something, we're dealing with teenage kids.
Yeah.
I had to, the first night, I went over to Bouncetown and I looked at all the girls. I'm like, why are we sitting here on our phones? I said, I know you're cheer coach. I know she didn't want you guys to be sitting here. And it was the only night I had to do that. Why are we sitting on our phones and why do we have a bunch of our friends? So that in my mind, the next day I talked to those girls before they got set up. I said, listen, I'm going to walk by here many, many times. I don't want to see cell phones out. I don't want to see a group of your friends hanging out with you because that means you're not really doing what you're here to do. I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to monitor you, and it works.
That's
telling them.
People
well, here's
it's telling them from the beginning what you expect of them.
I hear that. I hear what you're saying, but I'm telling you, on Sunday it was awful. Saturday, those kids were fantastic. Friday, those kids were fantastic. Saturday or Sunday was awful. I spent the entire time parenting these 2 boys, and God bless, they were there to help us. But it was hard because I had to make sure that the attendees were getting the attention that they needed and not going to get pissed off because they were let in when they shouldn't have, and then come back up arguing, while managing those kids, while making sure the other kids who also need attention and need help
that's
are
when
also
that's
getting
when
it.
we should
So
swap them.
what
we
if
should switch them out?
if we can't interview them, how about, and I'm just trying to think of ways to like help us. What if we consider 5 days before, a week before, whatever, we have a volunteer night where we can introduce the duties, what's expected, and then ask them, based on your personality and your experience, do you think that's something that's where you want to be? because then you won't get, if somebody's more, quiet and they want to do browns, that's their time to say, no, I don't really want to do that. Because it's not fair to them either. I recognize
No,
that.
that's perfect, and I
I
think
agree with that.
I agree with that, and
You
I
have some
think
kids that don't feel like talking because we trash all day.
Right.
I don't gotta talk to nobody, and I just gotta
Yeah.
do this.
Right.
No.
And I
And
think
they can still get the letter from the school saying they did their service.
And
I
some
think
kids
those
want
two would
nothing
have
to
shown
do
there.
with a little kid that's holding a chick and squeezing the daylights out of it, and they don't want to have to say you're squeezing it to them.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be with little kids.
So people weren't.
no, that is really a good idea.
I told them, these chicks, their lives are in your hands. You have
I
got to
had
be
some
assertive.
girls that were looking at me like I am not touching a baby chick, and I'm like, I feel you, sister. I hate birds.
Well, they could still guard the chicks and not touch them.
No, if you don't want to be around baby birds, you don't have to be. 'Cause I got nothing for 'em. But no, that is a good idea. Have a meeting like a week before, a volunteer meeting. I could even go.
Yeah, I mean, just bring them to the grounds, kind of like give them the rundown of how things are going to be going.
So
Say,
David, real
hey,
quick,
is there
one other
like
thing
maybe
I
we just do
forgot on
sign up sheets like, hey, is there somewhere specifically
this
that
year we
you
got
think
away
that you
with
would be
it. They tied the
comfortable,
cows to the
going
I would
in?
like
when
them
they
all
were
signed up
washing them.
before that, and
But
then
we
maybe
didn't
we
put up
can,
a wash rack
okay,
if
if
we
you
had
don't
more
think you're going to be
cows.
comfortable
I mean, the dumpster
here,
wasn't going to go anywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can.
we'll move you around.
I mean, we
They didn't have to come in.
But
They
they
could
were-
even do a Zoom.
They were really good about
just like the center
moving
one,
around
but out
once
there?
I had
Yeah.
I thought she had
But we
help
need,
with baby chicks
we
all
do
weekend.
need the heavier duty stakes for
Yeah.
out there, because what we put
So
in,
when I'm like,
we're lucky there was only 3 cows.
I was able to move
They would've
people,
just
and I
walked
told
away with
people
it
to
if they
like
were bigger
bounce
ones.
from yours. Like
The other
there were
thing-
2 that really wanted to be with the baby chicks, and actually there were 4 of yours. I'm like, okay, just switch out.
throughout the whole
Just
fairgrounds.
switch out. You're
See,
right
now
here. You're here to here. You're not that far away. Switch out every once in a while.
But now for next year, we know what we want of them. We didn't even know that.
Right.
Yeah,
I would have
Yeah,
loved to
I
do
mean
a
now,
volunteer
and now
meeting.
we can probably make a little bit more of a
Volunteer
comprehensive
meeting
list of
before
the different tasks
Okay.
that we're going to need.
I don't think I'm doing
That we can kind of give when people are signing up. Like these are the actual tasks that we know that we're going
I
to
think
need.
in terms of David's aspect, in terms of sponsorship, honestly, and I'm sure Tanya probably experienced this a little bit, because I got probably 6 emails I didn't send out to the group saying no. They wanted to see, as I shared with Dave, they wanted to see.
See how we're doing.
I'm thankful that you got Coke and all the other stuff, and that was awesome. But this is when marketing, this is when videos, so that next year it's, this is what happened last year. Do you want to be a part of this or not?
I got a lot of really good videos.
Right, and but that's what sponsors need to see. Say for example, even if someone got Coke, Pepsi might say, "How did we miss that? We didn't know." No, I'm just saying.
Frito-Lay didn't get back to me.
Okay, yeah. So they're all part of the same family, but
Contact
because I used to work at
but we
KFC.
want them clamoring for their spot.
Yes, and at the end of the day, that's what we did not have.
But we
And so
will.
there was nothing, right, but now we do. We got the artists, the kids dancing on stage, and so all those different little things, kids killing chicks, all that. We got kids killing chicks.
Yeah, we want a video of that.
And but more
We
importantly,
don't want to advertise that one.
no, but people will say, oh, they should have for chicks? Really? But more importantly is now we also have a number.
Yeah.
We had 6,100 people show up over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And let's be real, at least from my point of view, and it's how it probably happened to everybody, the internet said we were open till 8
Can I say right
on
there?
Sunday. Heaven forbid, if we'd have really been open, that much more money, we could have, how many people walked away
That's
that were
just
like,
not
I know,
and
people
wanted
were-
their money back? So
Well, the
I
last
look at
hour.
that and I'm like, no, that's like $7,000. We could have 7,000 people over 4 freaking days in South Windsor?
Yeah.
We can do better next year.
Yes,
Oh, we're
but that's
going
that's to help the sponsorship.
So,
No,
also
agreed.
speaking
Right,
of
right, talk it up.
sponsorships, a couple of things that had come up and that I plan on targeting is like Veterans Night, Boy Scouts,
Yeah.
emergency services, healthcare workers, ski clubs. We could target those kinds of groups and people that would sponsor those things and say, all right, our portion of it is going to be 10 out of the ticket sales is $10. So we could do a $10 off thing for the first 500 people if you give us $5,000. 500 veterans get in. If you make a $5,000 sponsorship,
And we-
they get a $10 off thing.
And we really
And you
didn't.
can do that with any.
I mean, we can do the
Any
canned
type of
food
food.
discount, like, too. Like,
And we really didn't have on our sponsorship form when we talked about it, do you want to sponsor a band? Do you want to sponsor whatever?
Yeah.
Well, and if
Do
you
you want
Like
target
at one of the
places,
farm stores.
yeah,
the
if you
baby
target
chicks.
places
Sponsor
like,
the baby
like
chicks, just
Agway
pay
or
for
Tractor
those.
Supply, you could get those sponsors or the livestock shows or that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Do you want to sponsor the livestock shows? Do you want to sponsor the exhibit prizes? We didn't put out specifics that people would actually be like, I mean, a tractor store? Do you want to sponsor the livestock
Well, again,
show?
we didn't have it.
We didn't-
And
we
even if
didn't
we would
have
have put it out there, they'd have been still,
Show us.
wait and see what happens.
And that's fine.
Now we got, I mean, let's just be blunt. You had a number, you had diversity,
Yeah.
you had the things that sponsors want to see. And
Oh, yeah.
especially when sponsors put that in their vision statement.
Patrick?
Well, this is what you want to do.
Patrick, there's a crust here.
You're crusty. That's what she said. I
I mean,
heard
heaven
it.
forbid, and I'm sure Erica has it because she had to have the tickets. We could say, if we really wanted to get to your point, Brian, if we really wanted to get stupid, we could say we had, out of 7,000, we had 1,000 seniors. That's a specific group that someone says, oh shoot, I want to target that for, I don't know, I want to build a 55 plus community.
The assisted living
Bingo.
homes, yeah.
Right, okay, I don't know about that, but anyway.
For bingo.
But we had those
Well,
numbers.
we're gonna have bingo next year.
This many kids that showed up because we gave that many kid tickets.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the things that, you
But
know.
all I'm saying is like the sponsorship needs to be restructured a little so that we can offer, you know, Connecticut Brewery. You want to support a band?
Right.
A band that's probably going to come to you
Well,
or
and
us.
I was going to
or,
say
you
a
know,
band that's
Well,
followed by people who tend to drink beer.
yeah,
either
exactly.
that or there's something, and I said this, usually a band that shows up, even if they get paid, there's a food ticket. Like they, like it, there's a plus. Like they get a ticket so they can go to whatever booth they want for $13
Yeah.
and eat.
It's like a rider.
Yeah, yes,
So,
it's- yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody else is taking over entertainment throughout this year, I mean, a couple of the different bands and stuff like that, they did ask for that stuff, and I just got it. You know, because we were talking about if they asked for it, I just did it for them.
Smart.
So,
No, smart. Because that's what we're used
if
to.
anybody else is taking over entertainment this year, then that's one of the
Yeah,
things
and
you got to
I
be
kinda
aware
did the
of.
same
That
thing.
they're asking for it, and it.
You gotta cater.
I can't even begin to get into how much time consuming it was dealing with bands and entertainment and things like this. How many back and forth? I mean, just
That one in particular, right?
We're
That
prima donnas
one.
like
we
that.
had like 30 emails back and forth
We're
to
prima
secure
donnas.
somebody on our board as a
Yes.
entertainment.
I'm fine. I get
which
it.
it's just
I get it. I get
part
it.
of the job. So.
Get it. Okay. Yes, no. We're prima donnas that way,
You
and
know,
especially if we have a following.
Touching base to make sure that they haven't forgotten about us and
Right.
all those
Right,
things.
and it's the same thing getting the judges for the
Yeah.
livestock too.
It's everything.
Numerous emails back and forth. And our goat judge, she got there she got there at 9:30, and she didn't finish until 2:30. We had a lot of goats to go through and all, and she needed lunch. I'm not going to go nickel and diamond and say,
Right.
hey, I want reimbursement for that. I don't care.
No.
I just went and bought her lunch.
Right.
Because
Well,
that's what you do.
I
and
think
that's
that
what I do at all the
next
fairs
year
that I
we
run.
might be able to like put into the contract that the vendors give us.
Yes. That's with
vendor-
Goshen. That's with Bristol.
The food vendors give us a
They
certain
give you
amount
a
of
certain
tickets
They give us,
to
yeah, they give the
to
band a certain amount.
give to the band or give to your people.
Yeah, I mean, the other judges were there all of an hour
It
and a
comes
half.
in an
and they were
envelope. The
fine.
man just says, "Here you go, there you go, there you go."
Yeah.
Whether you use it or not, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
at least when they
Even
go
our
back,
even our 4-H fair, they give them a food voucher when they come. and
Some
judge.
kind of,
And
but we could work that out with our food vendors.
Yeah,
and-
I mean, we
Okay,
can just say like we
They
are
know
giving
it.
the food. Are we going to frame it as we're going to reimburse the food vendor for that food, or are we just asking them to, hey, can you just contribute this? Because the reality is, if we're just giving like food vouchers to performers, I mean,
you could put it in the agreement
in their
that
allowance.
whenever they sign their agreement, that part of that agreement is
Okay.
10
15.
vouchers for
Yeah,
food.
10 vouchers for food or something like
At that time, that's the last thing they're thinking about. They're just thinking about how many people are coming to your event, and we have that number. We had 7,000 over 4 days.
I
So
will
part
say,
of your contract is you have to give us 10 vouchers for food. And however the entertainment person splits it up, it doesn't matter.
having the face painting was wonderful. We may need to have 2 or 3 of them so we can fill it out through the whole fair, because kids were looking for it that day. And she actually left on Sunday, and kids are still coming up looking for it. It was a steady stream of kids wanting to get painted, and they were so proud. I had one that came up to me. I was sitting at my table, and she just stood in front of me. She just wanted me to recognize that she was a tiger.
How many? How many roughly do you know that she did?
I would guess it couldn't have been less than 100.
Oh, really?
Over the Tuesday or Thursday night,
and
and for
Sunday.
part of the time on Sunday. And balloons too.
She was doing the balloons too?
And one of the earliest kids, she did a balloon sword. The kid ran away, fell, and broke the sword.
That was
She
like
instantly
30
replaced
seconds
it.
after
Yeah.
he left her. It was like,
She
oh.
instantly replaced it. So she
replaced
was
it.
phenomenal. But if she said, I don't have the time to be here the whole fair. So we may have to find others like that.
Connecticut School of Performing Arts. She was saying that they do.
Yeah, I mean-
that is somebody that we.
One of the Republican,
Huh?
somebody in the Republican booth was going to do face painting. They asked me if we had a face painter, and I said yes. She goes, oh, we want to do it. I go, she's not here every day, so I don't think she's going to worry. We're paying her
She's not charging. She's
a
getting
flat
paid.
rate, so
Just to do extra stuff.
she's not going to care because she's not charging the kids, so it doesn't matter.
But we need to work with Connecticut School of Performing
Yep.
Arts. She said about face
Bryn?
painting, huh?
Bryn? Is that her name?
I don't remember.
Huh? She
that's
said
right, doesn't
they
matter.
do like
I
all
think so.
sorts of things. It's not just dance.
Yeah.
They do all sorts of things, and she was one of the first people at one of the first meetings. And then I guess she reached out to
But then
somebody.
we didn't
and
link up until August.
Yeah, but she really wants to be a part of it next year. And she said that they do face painting, they do this, they do that. So let's get them involved. We might be able to fill in those slots with that.
So just a little bit of input from my son, who has a 3-year-old. He also has a 1-year-old, but her opinion at this point
Doesn't
is
get
not
much
valid. So he was saying when you entered and you went to the right, you had Carly's Critters, you had the Chicks, you had the face painting, you had all the animals, you had Bounce Town, and then for 3-year-olds there was nothing the rest of the fair to grab their attention. And that's where maybe we need to think about. I know somewhere in the notes there was the corn box where they can play in that, or we had all the face things where you put your face through and get your picture taken. They were all lumped together. So it was kind of kids' corner, but yet then as you went, there wasn't anything to keep them
We had
entertained.
space down by the
So we
ride
need
to
activations
put
all
stuff.
around the
Because
entire
even
fair.
Bill
Yeah.
was like, why didn't you set up tables and chairs down here or something? You got a big blank spot. Most
Yeah.
people miss that it was a blank spot because you're going to the ride, so you go right by it.
Part
Or
of
you're
that was
up by
because Parks and Recs,
and
they
Rec
didn't
not
put
putting stuff where we
the
wanted it.
bleachers where I wanted it.
Yeah.
If they put it where I wanted it, it would have made sense to put the other tent
Yeah.
down there, and it would have all.
And one of the things he
But we have-
suggested is like a Tupperware bins with just, if you could get a printing company to just donate a whole bunch of pictures of, very simple coloring pages of, cows and ducks and chickens and Ferris wheels and unicorns.
Or our
and-
logo.
Yeah, your logo,
Uncolored logo.
anything.
I mean, even like a Lego table, there's a lot of different things. I mean, even just like a larger Jenga set.
Yep.
There's a lot of
Anything.
different things that we can do.
And something I challenged somebody to make is one of those connect the dot, connect
those
four.
Connect Four
Oh, the big
things.
ones? Yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
talking about?
yeah. So if you walk around here at Club Waka, because they're waiting to play volleyball, there's cornhole, there's ladder ball,
Yeah.
there's some other stuff. And granted, it's adult stuff, but kids could
Yeah,
Oh,
kids
yeah.
like
use
that stuff
You
too.
can put that right near.
And it's very simple, and you can put you can spread those out a little bit, show up parents.
Yeah, so
need a
I mean,
break.
it was just input from, somebody who came with kids and
No, absolutely.
No, that's awesome.
And even the
That's-
hobby
yeah.
horses, the OK Corral, I think we learned you do not have to make the corral. But just
The
having
first
those
night
hobby
we learned
horses.
that. Holy
Yeah.
mackerel, I thought that kid was going to get clotheslined. He was running towards Harley's critters, and he literally, thank God, it went here on him and not here on him. And it was like Melissa and I looked at each other. We looked at Dawn. It was like, yeah, that's coming down.
That's coming down. But every 5 minutes, kids were rocking on those hobby horses.
Yeah.
We just have to have it at a place where someone will be responsible. So if it rains, the fuzzy ones get out of the rain.
Yeah, and
The
again,
wooden
that's
ones are
something
okay.
that doesn't have to be in that corner.
Right.
It can be moved out and about.
Even by
'Cause
like
you
the
don't need to
eating area,
monitor
so
that.
the parents can sit there and eat and watch their
Gotta make
kids
sure
doing
everybody
that,
walks
so
off.
that they don't have to.
I don't know.
As much
they're pretty
as it's
heavy.
South Windsor, some people here are really cheap in the walk off.
Well, the people at the exit gate, if they see a hobby horse walking out, I hope they'll.
I hope they'll stop them.
Was that one of the game prizes? Really? What game was that?
I mean, I found a random child, so I would stop the horse too. That was exciting.
We found a child.
child.
He was a little
random
toddler, and he just walked in by himself. And he's like, "I'm here to party," and he's going towards the tents. And I was like, "There's no adult following him." And you know, you're like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I run up and I grab him, and he's like, "Yay!" I pick him up, and I'm like walking, and you know, you're expecting to see a parent who's got like the look, right, of like, "Where's my kid?" And there was no face. So I'm just walking with them, and finally I get up to the front, which brings me to a point that I'm going to get to, which is an SOP about safety. I stood at the front with this child, like kind of showcasing him, hoping somebody would recognize
Blame him.
But I didn't want to like announce it because I don't know who these people are.
you
They're
don't
gonna
know
take
somebody
this
else is
kid,
gonna take
right?
him.
Like,
And you
I
weren't
don't know.
willing to bring him home. Shit, no.
I mean, it was cute, but so finally I hear this grandma say, "Where's so and so?" And the family looks over and they're like, "Get over here. Why are you with her?" And I was like, "Is this your kid?" And they're like, "Yeah, get over here," whatever his name is. And he goes running over. He had been gone for at least 10 minutes with me.
Wow.
So, if we're ready to move on to the next topic, I think emergencies and safety SOP, we need to nail that down. Like what we do in the case of X, Y, and Z happens.
Lost and found.
Lost
first aid.
kids, lost and found, somebody gets staples in their head.
That's partly my fault because we do have an emergency operations plan.
We do? Okay.
That doesn't mean it's perfect, and it doesn't mean it doesn't need improvement.
Okay.
But when the police department looked at it, they went, "Did you steal this from such and such fair?" I go, "Well, it is in the references, but some of that's from experience at Lynch." He
That's
goes,
good.
"That's like the most comprehensive plan we've ever seen somebody
What'd you do?
do
Take it
besides
from
us."
4-H?
No, some fair in the Midwest,
Oh, okay.
Regular Fields operation plan, Riverfest operation plan, because I worked on all of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a helicopter landing zone if that mattered to you. It was right on the Tiger Beetles.
I mean, do we all have that? Did we all get a copy
all
of that?
got
No, we didn't.
So
Wait,
that's
I thought we
yeah.
did.
Or at the very
You
least,
did the.
The newer people did.
at the very
Yeah.
least,
So
we don't
that
like.
was like the bylaws I just mailed out to you because we kept asking, I kept forgetting. I'm like,
All right, so
it's
can
really shitty
somebody
not to
go
give them to you.
through the emergency operation plan and dumb it down?
No, it
Well,
doesn't
no,
need
we
be
shouldn't
done
have to.
now.
We just need to be able to
It's-
have
it's not-
access to it and know what
It had the
And we
lost
don't
child
all-
thing. It had.
We don't all need to memorize every part
No,
of
you
it,
don't.
but I need
It
to
needs to
know
be on
when
site.
this happens, my point of contact, I need to immediately call is so and so because they are the person who knows everything about it. So immediately,
But
call
we should probably
Dave. Yeah, call Dave.
put a
That's
sign
it.
over the life safety, first aid tent, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Because
and
I
in
didn't even know
infrastructure-
where it
in a
was.
PA
I'm going to look
system.
at
Yeah,
this
do we
group
need a
called
PA
Aquarius
system?
that does medical standbys. They're not EMTs, but to get hired, you have to be one. Because if we hire EMTs, we have to get permission from ASM to use them.
Oh,
But if we
okay.
hire medical staff, we don't.
Okay.
South Windsor Fire Department doesn't do any patient care documentation at all. So the girl who got her staples, because her EMRs, at one point I was told they were going to call an ambulance every time somebody showed up and wanted to bring themselves to the hospital so they could get a refusal. They didn't do that with the girl with the staples. I don't know why, but as much as South Windsor Fire does a great job, there's not necessarily any documentation that they did anything. I mean, they bandaged that girl up. That should be a couple lines of what you did. I don't know. how they
Yeah,
go
we
about
need to
doing it.
have an incident
So
report.
I want to look at one. It's going to probably cost us twice as much for one person. We're paying. No, actually, it should be close. Because I don't remember paying $30 or $40 an hour for one person.
Anybody
Or no
need anything?
documentation.
I would love everything. So.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I can't.
You know,
It's gotta
I don't know who told me that the girl was at first aid getting bandaged.
Oh,
but
because the fire guys came up to me and then
Okay.
I grabbed you.
Okay.
But there was a
then
lot
once
They
of
had a
again-
walkie-talkie.
Yeah, well,
that's
he
why
did.
I'm saying.
I don't know, like.
Yeah. Well, it
There's
came
also-
back because it got turned in.
a lot of discussion about flying cell phones on the ride. The kids would go on even though the ride operators told them not to do it.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if that contributed to the injury or
I
not.
don't think that one did.
No.
I mean, I don't know why everybody's so shocked. I've been going on that literal ride since I was old enough to ride that ride, and I'm not so young. So I don't know why everybody's acting like they're like, what is this ride and why is
Yeah,
it? It's a very well-known carny ride.
Yeah, it's been around for probably, what, 50 years?
Riverside used to have one actually that was open air. That was intense. But
Okay, I'll
you
be
know.
honest with you. I have never ridden anything but a Ferris wheel. I absolutely hate speed and motion, so I had no idea what the ride was.
Oh,
I had
yeah,
no
it's
idea.
super
My
popular.
maximum is a scrambler and that's it, or carousel.
No, it's very popular and it's at almost every fair that you go to. Yeah. But you're right. The phones are because the kids are trying to do their TikToks and then it flies out and there's no way to stop that. The ride.
Well, I'm at Four Town Fair this weekend. I'm going to make a purposeful walk up to the amusements just to see.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Starship.
Well, they probably won't.
Rockwell. Well, they might.
They're gonna have it's. There was one incident on that ride versus what the internet's saying. There was
Yeah,
one
right.
incident, and
Right.
there was prior to the only reason why the carney didn't understand what was happening, according to the Summers Forum, by that kid that was on it. He said, I was on that ride, and for a half an hour, there was kids screaming, help, 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 and every time the carney would turn to them, they were just screwing around. So that incident got compiled by because kids were falsely,
kids are stupid.
old yeller,
Kids are assholes.
calling for help.
Well, I think.
Crying wolf, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what.
I think for next year, I think.
My email I sent you coherent about that because it was like it was late and I was like sun-kissed.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
you guys had seen that it was
Okay.
all over Facebook.
Yeah, no, we.
Well, I also
And
thought we
I mean,
saw
you know,
it.
I don't know how Facebook everybody is, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it. It was pointed out to me, so.
Yeah. No,
I got it.
I know I sent you an email and I'm
I
like,
got tagged.
sun-kissed, beat, tired. I hope this makes sense. With this
Yeah, some of it did and some of it didn't, but I got the gist. It was
But
fine.
what's the protocol with Rockwell? Because
If they get a report
balance of liability.
if they get a report of something happening, they shut the ride down and the state comes out and inspects it.
They have a protocol.
So
It's
what
not
if we-
every injury, but if you're
But they
transferred to the
didn't-
hospital,
they
you're bleeding,
didn't do
it's
it.
What
more
if
than
we,
minor.
What if we set this
multiple.
up in two ways, right? There are the things that we can control and the things that we can't, right? We can't control how these people are going to act on the rides,
you can't.
and we can't control who's hired to run the rides, unfortunately, and how
No, you
well
can't.
they know their own rules.
Right.
But we can know what our guidelines are and what our expectations
We
are.
just went down-
So when we see that there's a child hurt and the ride operator just put a new thing on, we immediately go stop this ride right now, everybody get off, and then we radio to our point of contact to say,
Yeah.
hey, this is what's going on, we need
Okay.
somebody over here now. Because then we
There was
protect
such
ourselves.
a delay that we just went right to her and she was like, what? And went like,
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think we can help ourselves a little better.
I mean, I think we need a PA system. I think next year it would be worth it to have it.
And we should ask Rockwell, we should look at what their protocol is.
I'm sure they'll share it with us. They were fantastic. We worked with anything we asked for, they gave to us.
Yeah.
As soon as
Trevor was actually telling me some of it, but then I have to remember what he told me like days later. And then it's multifaceted like everything else, so if you're not familiar with it, I'm sure some of it I would miss, but he seemed to know what it was. But the problem was his ride operators were having issues, and the kid with the knee injury, I went to the guy, did you tell your boss? Because the ambulance is here, this is not just, I haven't seen your boss at all, and usually if an ambulance shows up, you would expect.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, they're in there.
Yeah.
Turned back around,
So do
kept
they-
going to ride.
Do they not have a
Yeah, and
protocol
that's
that
where
they
you
do?
need to be
They
able to
do,
say
but
to
the
him,
ride
no,
operators
call your
don't.
boss right now.
One probably don't want to get in trouble.
Well,
so
I
they
mean,
keep
it's
the
not
ride going.
their fault. I mean,
No,
it
I
shouldn't
know.
happen. It's like,
I am going to say
Actually,
one thing.
both of them were in trouble for not following the protocol.
yeah.
I know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Not just that. So Mark in all his wisdom brought a 5-year-old on that ride because the 5-year-old Mark should not be around children. Like, he should not be left in charge of children. Just gonna put that out there. But he,
Just like every dad.
he let the kid go on, but then afterward he noticed, although the signage for the 48 inches says you have to be this tall, it's on a stake that's off the ground. Is it truly that 48 inches? That needs to be checked. Like,
Height
he
verification,
was like,
yeah.
because he was actually, the kid was actually 6 inches shorter than that ride required.
So like
Because
that's
the
us
way,
protecting us and our guests by doing that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they should be checking height.
And they
because
should
there
be
is a
checking.
there is
The state doesn't check that when
But-
they're doing their inspection.
but
Yeah.
the signage was wrong.
Yeah.
yeah.
Disney checks their
He was
measuring
six
every morning.
6 inches shorter than he
Yes,
should have
they
been
do.
because of the way the sign was.
And they do it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think Oliver was actually 48 inches, but I didn't think he was.
Yeah, see, exactly that.
No.
That needs to be
Yeah.
verified,
So
I
that's
guess.
something that we got to talk to Rockwell about. This, hey, we know this opinion. After last year, we don't want to repeat.
Absolutely, and I don't think that ride comes back.
Well,
not
Fort Town
inherently
tried to
bad.
stop it from coming. Their president asked for it to not come. And
It was already there.
it was already there, but it can be parked across the street. And it was like not received well that
Yeah.
it was asked to not be there. And it's going to be
It's a
there.
very,
because
it's a very
does
popular
that-
ride. This
Yeah.
one.
The fare that you're talking about, do they charge for tickets? Because it's a high consumption ticket ride, so that's
I-
probably why they were.
I
They
think
charge
so,
for
but I don't
wristbands
know.
and
They
tickets.
do. Yeah, I was going to say they do both.
They're doing
Yeah.
it separate for Town.
Keep the meeting going. I gotta. Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
But also when we talked to, as soon as you sent that email and we saw what was happening there at the fairgrounds, called Rockwell, the Herald, the owner of it, and he's like, honestly, it's not anything that the ride did wrong. The state inspected it, everything was fine. It was kids not listening and jumping around. He goes, it happens a couple times a year. He's like, if a lawsuit does fall from it, we send it right to the lawyers. The
Yeah, I mean, they
lawyers
have insurance for
handle it. It's
I mean, it kind of sucks for us because it kind of falls on us because it was like, you know, our fair event. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, they're a separate entity, but like
they don't
we're
try to
still,
like fight it and dodge it or whatever. The lawyers settle it in court. It's-
Does our insurance cover the possibility that we'll get backflow from it?
Right. We have insurance for the grounds, and we also have directors and officers insurance. So we're covered either way. They're not coming after any of us personally.
It's good because they won't get shit.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically they could, but you can sue anybody for anything. But any attorney that's picking it up, they're going to go, oh, they have insurance. We go after the insurance. What's the max value? And that's what they're going to go for. They're not. I mean, the kid had a little cut in the back of her head. I'm still surprised that they use staples because that doesn't even make sense.
I mean,
but-
it depends. I mean, depending on how big
Head
it was.
injuries, you know.
Head injuries with kids, they tend
The
to use
mom
staples.
seems,
No, they
I
tend
saw
to
a
use
te-
the
a
glue
message
because the
today. I think
staples
the
are 10
mom
times more
still
invasive and
wants
10
to be
times more risk.
contacted
But it
by
depends on how
where
far
in the
apart
head
it
it
is
is.
and how far apart it is too. Like if it's a place with a lot of movement, I would think they would probably
I mean,
want to
David
staples.
called
The glue
me and
is
I gave
stronger
him
than
my
the
best
staples.
advice based on every
My
professional
son
event
had
venue
one
I've
last
ever
year.
worked
That's the
in.
only reason I know.
I think what you do is you call and you do not accept or deny blame at all. You are simply expressing your concern for the child and their feelings. Are you okay? We're so happy you came to the fair this year. I'm sorry that your experience was not what you expected. We want to call and see how your daughter's feeling. Tell us what's going on. Let them talk. Let them talk until they don't feel like they have to talk anymore. Because it's about them. They're the ones who are hurt and upset.
They want to be heard.
They want to be heard. Take
Exactly.
that feedback and say, thank you so much for taking this time with me. Can I please, I just want to verify your contact information. You get an email address, and that's the last time you call. The next communication is through email. You want to make sure that nothing is misunderstood.
Right.
And
you
then
also
you
want a
tell them-
documented paper trail.
You want a documented
They
paper trail. And then you tell the person when you're on the phone before you hang up, please know that you're going to get another call from a representative of the Wapping Fair. They say, okay, thank you. That representative is our insurance adjuster. That's who needs to call next. nobody else calls or does anything.
So,
If the conversation sounds like that's where it's going.
so is that something that you should handle since it sounds like
So David asked me to, and I'm okay with doing it, but I, for myself personally, have concerns because I didn't hire this company and I don't know what we agreed to with them. I didn't hire the insurance and I wasn't here when it does. I don't know even what it covers, what our liabilities are or anything else like that. That's my only concern, is that I don't want to misspeak and mess us up.
I would not.
But you seem to have the verbiage, you have the talking skill.
Control of what to say without even touching on it.
Because
PR person.
you kind of are. Did you know that?
No. I don't mind doing these things when I've been a part and know what I'm talking about. Because as much as I love you all, I also have to protect myself and make sure I don't say anything wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
And I was going to say, I might have missed it. I apologize. I can't think of it. But when you guys talked about having more walkie-talkies, more responsibilities, all that stuff, I knew if there was I didn't know about the infrastructure, but if there was something blah, 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 talk to Brian. If there was blah, 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 talk to Frank. If there was blah, 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 you know what I mean? And if we
You
have
just
somebody...
pointed at me twice, I don't like that.
if there's somebody that specifically, because this happened with the rides, and then I went over there, they wouldn't start the ride because there wasn't enough people. No, we're not going to have enough people at 11 o'clock.
Right.
Mix the people up and start the ride.
Right.
We're not just having people. I say that to say, if that's the person, then when stuff pops off, then that's the point of contact.
Maybe it's like
not a
customer
point of
relations.
contact.
Yeah.
Brian, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so we have somebody that's had nothing to do with it. But more importantly, that's not your role because you could be liable. This is where we go. That's why we pay for insurance. But you're the point of contact for that. So your whole thing, and I said this earlier, is that if we have people that are in certain roles, that's your only role. Right. You should not be leaving the ticket booth to park cars. I don't care. I'm sorry. That's your job for this joint. So we know who's there, where you at that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're... We
I know,
we knew you were the point of contact at the hospitality and for the vendors. But when we start switching each other up, all of a sudden you're starting to talk at the ticket booth. I'm like, what are you doing?
You didn't even know who I was.
Dude, I'll admit it. I'm like, I'm handling this money,
But
dog.
unfortunately, because of the amount of people we had working,
No, of course.
we had to take on
it's
different
starting in
roles.
lane
No.
two and
Somebody
everything
needed
else,
somebody out in parking.
I'm saying
calling
this
the
going
next
forward.
person.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
Please
and
preface this.
and
I'm saying going forward.
and we're going to be
If
able to do that.
possible.
100%. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
We're
This
gonna.
is all-
Everyone's gonna have designated like responsibilities.
Yes, but in that role, all you are is there at the rides. You're not at the ticket booth. You're not there. All you're there at the ride, so if something pops off, okay, we got a situation. There we go. I'm not there watching the chicks. No, that's your job.
I mean, theoretically, board members, by the time the fair comes around, should be only in supervisory roles. Should be,
Yeah.
That's building our volunteer
which is building our own.
Just on that, one of my friends just stopped me in the hallway. Currently, Channel 30 News says that this may have been the last year because we might have not have the staff to go on next year. I'm just saying, that's what Channel 30 says.
About Wapping Fair.
Who are they speaking to? Who did they quote?
Channel 30,
This guy I've known for like 35, 40 years.
Channel
Actually, I've known his
30
family
came
forever.
through the fair on Sunday, right?
Trust
No,
me, as a
NBC.
politician.
Yeah, NBC came.
So now
That's
it's
30,
really
isn't it?
important
I don't watch
that
the news.
it's really important
I don't
that
watch
right
TV,
now we
so-
get on social media, we say what a wonderful, successful fair it was, and that we've increased the interest in additional volunteers by having the fair.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do
and that,
video.
yeah, I mean, we really need
so
to
you know,
just
he thinks
get
it was
it out
Channel
there.
30 because that's what he watches. But he just said, what do you mean you're meeting about going on next year? Channel 30 just said that
I heard
we might not
that.
have the staff, so it might be the last
Oh,
year.
we're-
We need an after-action report to get out onto our website. That goes over all this, how many injuries we had, how many
that was
people
last
came through the gate.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to address the injuries. I think you need to address the
this-
positives,
this success.
every positive thing. I can give you the number of livestock exhibitors, the number of livestock we had present. I can give you, you can talk about Curly's Critters that had constant people, kids loving the exposure to the animals. And I'm speaking from animal world, but you know, how many
Bounce
people came
houses,
through
the
the door, the
vendors.
livestock.
Somebody writes it up, I can send it to the JI.
Sold out.
Fill in the waiver.
Because, and I have to tell you, those bounce houses, my granddaughter played in them for like 2 hours, and she's only 3 years old, and she absolutely loved them. And that's
Yeah, I
all
think
she
that
needed.
was-
She didn't need any other amusement ride or anything.
Well, because she couldn't go on any other.
Well,
amusement.
right, she
you
couldn't,
have to
but-
have something for the ones
But
that can't go
yeah,
on it.
and that's exactly my point. There was
Just like
something
the
for
hobby
everybody.
horses or the
The
rocking
hobby horses
Yep.
and the rocking horses, you have to have something for the kids
And I
that
think
can't
the
go
corn
on.
pit is important for next year.
Yeah.
That's why I'm flying out at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and I struggled to make sure that I got the kudos and the who won adult and junior for the exhibits posted today because I knew they were waiting to have bragging rights.
Wait, where are you going?
I am going to Nashville for a Thursday afternoon, Friday morning meeting and coming back at midnight on Friday.
Oh, I thought she was going someplace fun.
Oh, Nashville though, you could go to the Grand Ole Opry.
I can't go anywhere.
Find a
I'll
cowboy,
have
baby.
enough energy to get off the
Save a
airport
horse,
to the
find a
meeting,
cowboy.
go to bed.
Absolutely.
and
So
go.
if you're about to zip, I had one thing that I wanted to say, but for the exhibit tent, we want to make sure we get you a ribbon display for your for the people who win ribbons, because that when I was relieved you there, I had like probably 8 or 9 people come through that were saying, well,
What's this for?
who got what ribbon?
Yeah.
You know, which ones were your winners and stuff like
And
that.
I
And
didn't
some of
dare,
the
this
kids-
is my inexperience, I didn't dare put the ribbons on there. Because I thought people were going to just pull them right off and walk
And you know
away.
what? We've got so many ribbons and they're so flippin' cheap. If the ribbon gets lost, we replace it.
Or even if we had a cage to tie it to behind it.
Yeah, I mean,
something-
honestly,
Tie
if you
right
put
on.
them and we do a better job getting that set up for Dawn and getting the rope that can go around it that people can't actually reach in and touch the exhibits, I think.
We could work
And
on that.
I wish I could say I can be there and help, but I really can't.
You're stretched thin.
But you have the ideas, and if you give us the idea, we can know
Yeah,
what the hell we
I'll
were
definitely
doing.
talk to you throughout the
and
year.
actually,
And
one of the exhibitors really had wanted, she'd always intended to volunteer, but she also didn't want to be on the board, Franklin, because she wanted to still be able to enter. But she's got a ton of ideas. She knows all the contacts. She said, you should be getting this out in the PTA in the fall so people can be ready. I'm going to reach out to her. She may well want to be an assistant. I don't know. Or I said, even if you just give me the ideas and then walk away and then still enter.
well, I can be honest with you. Some of our
The
youth
woman that I was
that
talking to, I think she really wants to dig in and
yeah,
help.
some of
But
our
did
youth
anybody
that
notice-
show
I
at the 4-H fair, they were like, "Oh, we didn't realize we really could do this many
that.
different things." So I think you're going to see a
I'll
big.
just take
I
some
think you're
blank
gonna-
ones another year and
I
hang
think
them
you're
up. 'Cause
gonna
I filled
fill
out
that
every
whole
one of
tent
those,
next year.
but I could hang blank ones.
Well, we
on
have
there.
way more
There'd be
time
no
this
big-
year to really plan and kind of get all
Yeah,
that
I think
information out
she's
there.
gonna fill that whole tent next year. That whole.
Yeah.
That whole
And I
tent.
can draw
But
for
did
you the
you-
layout that really has worked in the
Did you all
past.
see?
Do it.
I went and stuck ribbons on every single entry that won them and took pictures of them. So we had pictures to post, even though they weren't there. So that's what got posted with the award.
Oh, see, oh, you awesome.
Take a look at the Wapping Fair website.
Yeah, I have. Is it on the website or is it on the Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
Okay.
So,
Copy your Facebook.
2 things. One,
Feel free to copy and
who's
paste
doing the
it.
PR write-up?
The
We can't
what?
wait. We can't wait too long for that. Who's doing the PR write-up?
Are you going to reach out
Because
to them?
Beck,
Or
you
need
got
the
you got the
insurance?
pictures and the video and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I got the contact of JI 2 or 3 for stupid reasons. But anyway, as long as I get it to them, for 2 reasons. One, it's in the JI. 2, and this is extremely important for websites going forward. It's part of the history of the Wapping Fair. Just like who sent out the pictures from 1963? Somebody sent out a cow with the Wapping Fair. has been-
With the Wapping
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
sign, that was
Yes,
me.
but that's there needs to be a tag history. Again, it goes to sponsorship. It goes to
I mean, the
everything that we do.
The website needs a lot of updating.
Right. Yes. But what I'm saying is, if we have the PR write-up with pictures, and it says history. We can do that, and also I can just send it to
So you're looking for an article for a press release for the JI.
Exactly. Wapping Fair, Friends of the just like we sent out the original one. The Friends of the Wapping Fair are bringing this back, blah, 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 blah. They brought it back. We had 6,100, 6,000 people showed up.
I can probably put
we
something
get
together. I have to just like dig into
Our
the
first
info for
successful
this.
year.
Yes, but we give the love to the sponsors because they need to see that. Thanks to Coca-Cola for the wine.
And then later on.
Thanks for the blah, 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 blah. Thanks for the chips. Da, 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 da.
So right now you want a feel-good piece that we can immediately release within the next week that touts how good we did
Yes.
this year and just a little bit about the history. And then further down the road, we dive deeper into that by sharing more about the history and why people
Later,
need to do
yes,
it.
later.
Okay.
But for this,
So what timeline do you want for the first piece?
it has no. I mean, it only has to be the one because if they call back later because somebody makes a comment, it's like okay, they reach out to David as the president. But for
When do
this,
you want that so that we can give it to
If
you?
it's a
for
week?
JI?
I can. What I'll do is I'll post it up on Bistro Buddy, and that way we
Right.
can share it out,
Right,
and that way
but-
JI can take it, whatever they can
right?
do,
But I'm
whatever.
saying
thing.
once it's written, then I can say, hey, Joseph, Stephen King, I'm a board member. Blah blah blah. This needs to get printed out.
Yeah, I
Because
can.
seniors
I wanna-
love JI.
Huh?
I want to talk about that.
Can you
Yeah.
pull down pictures that have already
Nicole,
been
what time do you
posted?
have to leave?
So if I
Or
got
do
somebody
you
to get my
need
clip.
a-
I can't.
do you need a-
I can pull pictures from here.
So, if you're really good at article writing, I'm better at like.
You can be the
people
public.
wait.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
100%.
You write the article. If you don't mind,
Right.
do you have time?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah, I'll do that this week.
And then
Okay.
the
It'll
only
have to-
thing that we
I'll have to
need
try and
with
do
that is obviously a quote from two people, these two people, that say, thank you for the vendors, bop, 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 da, 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 because they only spoke to you. And so vendors will be able to attest, oh my gosh, it was an awesome event because we spoke to this woman.
And then we can release it to news stations.
That's it. Because once it goes out,
yeah,
and that's it. And the most important piece of that is it's always searchable.
yeah.
Walking here, it's searchable. If you have any questions or comments, you call this number. So I think you guys said it earlier. I wasn't a part of this, but I believe you guys did. Maybe I'm lying.
You are.
Is there a Google number for the Wapping Fair?
So I wanted to add, I was going to lead into the next part of the marketing phase, and I need Becky's input on this because I know you guys have like a marketing firm kind of for a specific.
Yeah.
Do you do website design, DX, and all that other stuff?
Jay can do that. Jay, Web Bistro Buddy, Jay built all of Bistro.
Okay.
So he can do that.
Can he do Google and get into Google fix?
I know he knows how to claim it. Like realistically, Paul should be giving us the info
Paul
to be
said
able to
he
access
does
it.
not own that one.
Okay, well then we'll
Somebody
have to
on
find
his team does because there's literally a passcode. It's like a numerical passcode.
You know they're not going to give it to you.
So then there's
Well, we can recover
back tape that we have to
because they're not associated with it anymore. We can recover it.
But
Can
the
you
more
write down
important piece is to have
specifically
a-
what it
a
is you're
Wapping
looking
Fair
for?
Google
Because
number,
I'm
so
in
if
contact
anybody
with
calls,
Sharon Jakes,
that's what
who
everything
was,
goes to. So even if it just sits,
one of the JCs
we
that
got all the
did some of the
voicemails.
publicity.
We got it.
Okay, so we need
But that's also for the PR.
To-
Any questions, call this Google number. Hey, none of y'all
Google
personal
my business.
Okay. Now, I did want to bring up that before this conversation,
That's what
I
we
do have a resource that I work with at the convention center. They're a marketing company. They're called Rebel Interactive. They're based out in Canton, I think, or Clinton. It's a C word. One of those towns. Anyways, they work with Metro Hartford Alliance. They work with Connecticut Convention Center. They're very well known in that area, and they do good work. They do allow their employees to take on their own contracts as long as it doesn't interfere with their work at Rebel. And one of their website designers and person who does marketing has said that he would help us for a discounted rate. He can't do it for free, but it would be discounted. So say they typically charge $125 an hour, he would charge us $50 an hour. He could get the website redone, built up robust, the way that it needs to function properly with the right information. He could work on the Google things for us, and he could basically assist. So like if Becky wrote an article that we needed to get out, she would write it up and say, hi, I need you to contact all of our news companies and all of our releases, and I need you to issue this out, and then he would do that. But I
So
need
do
to
we
know
own
if that's
that
going to
domain?
step on your toes.
No, because I know, Jay, realistically, Bistro Buddy is streams. So if I'm going to be posting on it, it's going to be to bring the info there. But obviously, I'm share it out, make sure everybody has access to it. Or I can also post that article on Wapping Fair. So I can do it both and just kind of have it so that it's there, or I can tweak it and do slightly different versions for the website versus.
You were talking about go back to
what comes out.
All right, that is something to talk about. We gotta figure out.
Just put it on the thing to talk about. Like maybe we have a meeting in a couple. Right now we do what we need to get.
Right.
And then in a couple of months we have a
While
marketing
it's still
meeting.
fresh in everybody's mind, because once that JI
We are
article goes
pulling
out,
it from
people
Eli,
comment
I
on the
assume.
JI article.
So when do you need that by? Because like I mean.
Huh?
I would say within a week.
So we
Okay,
just
so
need
like,
to get somebody.
so like, cause I know, so I'm gonna be busy this
Dawn, do you
weekend.
have
I
the
just don't know,
website?
like, I just want to make sure that I get it for you when you need it.
You can edit the website,
I
right?
can edit it. I can post it. I got names.
We own it, so but we're not doing anything with Eli anymore. So we should probably get somebody on the website.
I mean,
but
We need a professional, whether it's
Yeah.
y'all or it's somebody that we hire. Because like for instance, the website that we have right now, it's supposed to be plug and play and very user friendly. And
WordPress.
it is. However, the person that set it up put this code in the beginning of it
Right.
that it's outside of my skill set, and I'm afraid if I start deleting this code, what else is gonna all of a sudden
What
go
is this
missing?
interactive?
right.
Right.
The
So
other
we
thing
need
is
somebody
right
that
now
just builds.
We don't necessarily need the website now a year out, so we could actually.
You don't.
No, we do,
But
because
you
if we want to start securing
because people are
sponsorships.
going to go to it just like they went to Google. They typed in Wapping Fair and they saw Sunday open till 8.
So
Like,
in the
people are still going to refer
the way
to
it works is so like once we get Google fixed the way, and you probably some of you probably already know this. Once we get Google fixed, and it starts recognizing our website, it needs to be able to link to a fully functioning website because the person that programs our website, this is another part that goes into it. The way you write your paragraphs need to be written a certain way so that when somebody goes to Google and they search that, the algorithm picks it up. And the more it gets picked up, the more traffic that gets driven to it.
Well,
It's like science.
it's more about having the website set up so that Google is able to easily read and translate
that's a
the
one-time
information
thing.
to be able
So
to.
we
put
would
it
have
back.
him or her fix the website to start, and then when we get close, like
Yeah, that's a
Becky-
one-time thing.
Becky needs the vendor thing to go up. I'm just using Becky,
No, I know.
a vendor, as an example.
Yeah.
That's you. She can contact Nicole or that person and say, okay, the vendor thing can go up and the vendor map, and work with them on that.
I mean, if we can get into it, I know that we can.
Because then the beauty of that is once the site's up, you can then connect it to social media.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is one time.
Well, because right now we don't
And
even
then
have
it
Google.
goes to Facebook, Twitter.
We don't.
Right.
We don't even have analytics
Whatever.
right now, so we
Right.
don't even know what kind of traffic we're getting on the website.
Did we secure any of those vendors for next year?
Some of the vendors, the food vendors, yes. Some of the other vendors, not sure.
You got
I did give.
deposits?
No, I gave my card.
Oh,
I mean, we have to set up forms and stuff before we're able to really do that.
I have the feedback in Google. I had 10 people as of yesterday respond. One said no thank you. The rest are all interested in coming back.
Who said no thank you?
If they didn't write their information, they remained anonymous.
I hope it's Adam's ice cream. Who's not coming back?
No, I've got an ice cream truck we can have.
Thank you.
There was an ice cream truck that wanted to come in and they were too late.
Yeah, I know.
But why don't we like, so you know, you already got your assignment, you're gonna write that article, we're gonna give it to you so that it can be distributed. And why don't we set a timeline in which the next time we meet on this day in a month, we have a plan for what our marketing goal is for the next year.
Are we meeting monthly or are we meeting weekly at this point?
Monthly.
Making sure.
Yeah, once
Don't
the
you,
web-
don't,
once
but
the
you'll
web-
miss me, Sonia. You'll miss me.
I know you're gonna. I'm gonna lose something.
Yeah.
I lost my keys the other day. I'm like, where's
Before the next
Becky?
month meetings, I want to update the premium guide to be ready for 2025.
Are there
Oh yeah, we have some major
Two
work to do.
Facebook
I didn't make
pages
any
or
changes for
there
this
are?
year. I
There's
just
two
like,
Facebook pages
let's just
for
go
that.
with
If you
it.
see
Well, there's
any
the group.
changes you
There's
want
the
to
group
do,
and then a page.
write them in paper
There's the original
or
page.
write them home,
Change
whatever
the
you
name.
want. I can do
The
the
original
editing.
Wapping Fair page.
I can do the editing.
Okay.
The friends, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to,
No, you're
No, go
fine.
ahead.
No, you're
you
fine.
know the friends of the Wapping Fair group?
Yeah.
We need to lock that down. We need to kick anybody out that's not a volunteer or a board member. It needs to just be us and our way of communicating amongst each other. And then the Wapping Fair page should be where we
So I
put
think
out
I think we will have to make an announcement in that group saying, please make sure you're following the page. We are going to be shutting this group down so it is private, so Eposode is going to be for board members and volunteers
That
only.
shit confuses the hell out of me.
Well, I mean, we can take care. I'm not an admin in that group, so I can't do anything with that.
The last thing I would suggest is if there's a way to get a young person, I don't know about y'all, you can attest to this. Kids were just showing up with $20 bills. Kids were just showing up. I was like, where did you get this 20 from?
Parents are getting dropped up. Parents are just dropping their kids off.
I say that to say, if you have kids, if we have a kid, sophomore, junior, that's on one of those social media, whether it's TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, that we can bring on to your, hey, if you fill out this, we can say that this is your volunteer portion. I can't imagine how that might blow up.
Or what if we did like on Thursday night, we could do influencer
Yes,
night?
Rock Paper Hour is also good, but if you have a kid that all they do is set up TikToks, because that's what they do, or Snapchats, and they're just going around, them kids just showed up with 20. I was like, who's giving you a 20? Like,
Parents
for real,
are
you're not.
voted them the hell out of the house.
Well,
let
yes,
me tell
true.
you.
We had a kid show up with a Benjamin.
All those
Yeah, he was so mad.
You were so cool.
Okay, man. I was just like, really?
No, it wasn't. But these kids don't have jobs. But he was so
I'm
mad.
just going to say one thing about my volunteers.
You gave him back a 50.
Yeah, I give him back
School. You can look at some of those cars in that parking lot.
No,
They got
true.
20s.
But I'm saying though, what I'm saying is though, is that these kids. All right, fine. I'll make it more personal. My son didn't care until he saw the Jones. Until he saw the females.
Oh, then he was like,
Okay, all right,
hey,
go talk
can
about
I
my
help?
son. Go talk about my son.
Can I volunteer? Oh, no, he hung out with me
No,
for a long time.
exactly.
He was like, so can I volunteer? Where can I go? What am I doing?
But
he was
But that's how
awesome.
they communicate. They communicate on Tik and Snap. I don't know nothing about that. But if we had one and we said, this is your volunteer piece, you don't got to show up. All we need to do is
Well, that is a volunteer option. I mean, that was.
Bistro, but
Yeah.
kids communicate with kids.
Oh, no.
So
I
are
mean,
you
we're doing
volunteering
social,
your
yeah,
child
no,
for this?
No, Roman will not be doing that. His mother would kill him.
Oh, Roman was your son?
Yeah.
He worked at the Chicks.
He worked everywhere.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
But if you think about our volunteers and they had their phones out, they were all taking pictures. Why don't we tap into them now and say, would you like to contribute towards the marketing?
Right.
And what would you
So
like to share?
I am
Save a
actually
picture.
going to.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to see the cheerleaders to drop off their little stipend. I'm going to I got invited to the interactive club meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to hang out with the girls and boys. And you're going to present to the Boy Scouts.
Good.
They get $500.
I mean, I think. Let me double check on that.
What?
Because the boys earned volunteer hours towards their Eagle, and I think there's a rule, you either get one or the other. And I think they agreed to take their volunteer hours.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check.
Well,
And I'm
Wapping
going to
Fair
the
can still make a
Explorers.
donation to the Boy Scout troop, I believe.
Okay.
Back when my son
We'll
earned
figure
Eagle,
it
but
out.
that was 20
We'll figure
years
it out. There's
And that's also, depending
The
on
rules
when
have
you do it,
changed.
that's also part of the PR.
But let me tell you about my volunteers because I am extremely proud. I know there were some
Yeah, they did
annoying.
awesome.
They are freaking teenagers, so I am extremely proud. I did not tell any group about the stipend. I did not tell any group about the tickets until they signed up.
Nice.
When they signed up for the cheerleaders signed up for 20 shifts, the other clubs signed up for 40 shifts. That's when I told their adult that they're like, what?
So
these
that was
kids-
the ticket.
She did so good. The fucking police advisor showed up and did her. He was actually on duty.
See?
And they didn't know they were getting it.
Yeah,
job.
they didn't know that they were getting anything, and he was just like, and they are all on the hook for next year.
Awesome.
So, but I didn't tell them. I
photo
didn't want to
contest
tell them.
or
I
free
didn't want it
passes
to
for
be a
next
thing because, and I kind of wanted to see what kind of kids volunteer for nothing. They had,
No, you're right.
Usually,
no, really.
No, I get it. No, I get it. I
Usually
get it.
the
Has a
good
lot of good
ones.
ones.
I get it.
But there wasn't a bribe out there. They didn't
Right.
know about it. So
Right.
then when it got announced, then they were like, oh,
The girls get the boys.
Look
Yeah.
what just was posted 2 seconds ago. Layla and I had a great time at the Wapping Fair. Here's our family in the iridescent bubble. Granny and Dad had a wonderful time too.
Nice.
Basically, just showed up. They've got a
Well, and
library.
anybody that came up to my booth, I'm like, did you have a good time? Yeah. Share it on Facebook. If anybody says anything negative, you say 7 things positive.
Good job to all of y'all that really did that heavy
Was
lifting.
there anything else?
For real. People came in at the end, but you guys did the heavy lifting.
Becky, have anything? Do you have anything, Nicole? You can kind of go around and just do individuals instead of talking.
One thing that I had been mulling over that I didn't mention is having a minimum age of attendance by yourself.
Yeah, and you know that popped up with the, what was that, Great Adventure, Six Flags.
Yeah, I think there's some merit in it. I don't know what that age should be.
I don't disagree.
But we did have gaggles of middle schoolers running around. At one point, I had 5 of them come up to the front tent asking me where the fight was. And I was like, there's no fight.
That happens every.
Go back to the fair
I'll be
and there's
performing
no
on stage,
fight.
and all of a sudden, all these kids running in one spot.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
they're
like,
doing.
What's happening?
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you know, they can come in with their parent and their parent can ditch them, but at least we have something in place to.
As long as we get the police explorers back out there next year too, that parking lot situation. Because if it's not with a police explorer leader or somebody who has some kind of experience in crowd control, that could have turned into a major shit show. There was one point when I had like 20 or 30 middle school kids running across the parking lot and didn't really say anything until they started kicking signs, and then I started to raise my voice, and then I told them that if they weren't going back in, I had to cut off the wristband at the moment, and then the one kid was like, we're going back inside now.
Yeah.
And then the other kid started throwing the hats
No,
around,
the
and I told him to pick up
explorers
his
are
trash and
definitely
stuff.
on for next
So,
year.
I agree with you.
Yeah, as long as we have somebody out
The
there.
explorers are
You're with the
definitely on
rides.
for next
You're
year.
with the this. You're with the that.
And
making
we need
sure-
to have them there. We should have them there an hour before we open our
Yeah,
gates.
agreed.
If possible.
We didn't talk pricing, but I would love to see if we could get a tier for under 65 that don't want to ride.
Unfortunately,
Well,
I
I
think
think, well,
Yeah, I mean,
not
that
for
was
under
the-
65. I think we need to add handicap into that, over that senior price without rides, because I feel like that was kind of a big thing, but
I think we might be able to wiggle the handicap in, but I think the under 65, the agreement we have with Rock will for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean that's how it. That's the whole concept behind it is that they get it a little bit from everybody instead of taking a lot from a few kids.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
you gotta
just
be
if you
careful.
did it just for
Could
the
we
rides,
get away with bumping the 20 up to 25 and then offering an under 65 with no rides?
I can tell you right now, my son and daughter-in-law will not come back to Wapping Fair with their little children because they will not be going on rides, and $20 is a hefty price to come in just to walk around the fair. So I think that you may have a lot of people in that age group that may have done it once but won't do it twice.
I mean, but then there's also the people,
I
their
think-
kids are a little older and they all want to go on the rides. It ends up
also-
being better
yeah.
because then they're not spending nearly as much. So
And
it's
that's
like-
why I think Dawn asking if we shouldn't look at tier pricing, because they could certainly have paid, you know, 10, 12 bucks a piece to come into the fair. They're not costing anything because their bodies are not going on those rides. So
No, our contract is everybody that comes in. Am I right? Everybody that comes in, we have to pay Rockwell $10. It does not matter if they're going on rides.
right, so therefore my point is their bodies will not be coming back.
So what I hear you're saying is that your family members didn't want to pay the $20 because the value for $20 was not there, regardless of whether they went on the rides or not. The value wasn't there for them. So that's something that we as a board need to keep in mind, that there are people that don't ride the rides, so we need to beef up the fare. How can we make it valuable? What can we offer that makes it worth paying the $20 to get in, even if you don't ride rides? Now, we're not going to find a perfect answer to that, but at least we can have it be a moving target, right, to know.
But
And
I'm
where we
frustrated
can
in that we are not controlling the price. We are being controlled by an amusement.
I was going to say.
So
And I have a real problem with that.
we're not, because they
But we
originally
are.
So they originally wanted 25, and they originally didn't want to include the over 65. We negotiated that. Now, where we can offset that is maybe Thursday nights we offer you pay your own rides, and you just charge and then the admission price is more of.
But you're not going to get your young families on a Thursday night.
And the other thing that we can do about that is we go after sponsorships that are going to offset the price. So if we get somebody to target people that are veterans, people that want to target the farmers, and a $5,000 donation covers 500 people and doesn't impact us at all. At our
If we can get more sponsors, we can change the price.
We just are still liable for $10 per person.
I
We're
suggest people
liable.
read the contract with Rockwell that says after the first year that the price is negotiable.
Oh, really?
We can show that this pay one price thing didn't work.
I mean,
But at the end of the day, you're gonna end up, and this is part of the reason I didn't want to be in that ticket booth because I'm running for office. I'll admit it. But then we got to be sticklers. Because to your point, yes, we do need to offer value. I agree with you on the money piece. But then again, it goes to your job is a ticket booth. Your job is this. Your job is rides. Your job is entertainment. Your job. That's all you're doing. So when somebody pops up on the ride that has a gray wristband, I'm just saying, no, you can't get on this. You didn't pay. You wanted to. No, I'm sorry. We had this twice. When people showed up with their kids who came back crying, you didn't pay for it. You wanted it, but you didn't pay for it. So don't be mad at me. I have no problem. I agree with you. I had 2 kids. Roman, last year, wanted to keep coming back. I was like, I can't afford that, dog. One ride, one chick, and we're out.
So,
But
a lot of the families that I talked to, the only reason that they came was because of it was a huge savings.
There was a huge.
yes,
Right,
and-
but they're the
Now that the people know that we're having 14 rides, I think a lot of the people, we would have gotten even more people
Yes.
if they realized how many rides and the types of rides we
I'm
have.
gonna say some
So
of our.
it's a trade-off. Do we have more people that don't go on, that would never go on a ride?
I had a lot more good feedback on the one price than I did.
yeah. But
So now
my
we just
wife
have to
paid
find
twice, and I'm
sponsors.
on the freaking board.
correct me if I'm wrong. When people saw that the $20 was rides and that was the only price, did they or did they not leave?
I think that, so here's another thing that I think that we can improve upon is getting, like you said, being a stickler and getting our verbiage down, right?
Yeah.
Because when somebody approaches you and you say it's $20 and that includes rides, and they say, I don't give a damn about your rides, I didn't come here for that, I came here to go to the fair. They're done, right? Because you've already stopped that customer from what they were there for. So when they approach you, you say, hi, general admission, what's your age? Okay, general admission is $20 today. It's all inclusive. I don't want to ride rides. It's not for the ride. It's about how you present the information, right? Now, I understand for you that your family members, this isn't going to work for them and you want them to come to the fair, and I hear your feedback. I understand what you're saying. The problem is that we will never please everybody.
But they're not the only ones.
So
No,
we have
agreed.
to find
They
a
are
way to
not the
present
only
it
ones.
better.
So
They
the
go
other,
to other fairs and they pay that money. I perform at them. Like people drive into Goshen, they do. They pay it. Like
mean,
we
there
can't,
were a
we
lot-
can't bow down.
Our family goes to 1,000 fairs,
I mean, we're-
and they do not pay them.
I mean,
so
we're
the other
looking-
aspect of it is, why are we paying $20 for our families to go in? Why?
Good question.
I
Why
mean,
are you?
We shouldn't be paying the fair that we're running for 8 months out of the year. Well, we did 6 months this year. This year is going to be a whole year. How many hours you're going to be putting in? If you're giving some kid a $20 ticket for standing with the chickens for 4 hours, well, how many times did we put 4 hours in each?
I
We should each get.
Yeah, my wife paid twice.
Having.
She was here twice. She paid $40 and $20 for Roman. And so I don't really, at the end of the day, you know what? If you want to come and be with your family, you want to come and be with your family. It's one time a year. I'm sorry.
I mean,
We have a lot of people that are hurting right now, but you know what they said? And we saw this at the ticket booth. I want to be with my family and just go and have a good
I gotta
time.
go.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense to have like even if it's 10 tickets per board member, that like you get to have
Well, yes.
so many
Not
tickets
even
you can
about that.
distribute.
I'm not looking for
Oh, no.
a free ride for my people to come in. What I'm saying is from their perspective and other firefighters in Manchester that came and were going to join them that day who have children that couldn't go on rides, $20 per person, so $40 for the two of them to come in. You're right. Wapping Fair does not have enough to offer to make it worth a $40 day when they could go someplace else for that same price.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just bringing the point up so that you can think about it.
I mean, there was a lot of people who felt that way, and there was a lot more families that were okay with it. Like it's, I mean, we're never. There's always going to be a selection of population.
Can you please give these to Erica? It's
just have to make it more valuable.
and
Yeah.
the
And I
tags for.
We know we've got a lot more room to add. We can do it how we
Did you already send checks for him, or she
No,
needs to
I
send that?
paid it on my credit card and I need
So
reimbursement.
that's why I'm asking. You need a check, so that will get to her tomorrow morning.
I
First.
mean, the note.
That is the difference. If you already
Now
have
we're
checks,
becoming a
so
family.
Yeah.
Family
you're
doesn't
getting
fight.
reimbursement. We can
Keep going.
It doesn't have to be tomorrow.
Oh, let me.